Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah. Before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You are laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. This by the end of the year. How are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
One of our prayers, oftentimes as Africans, as we advance in age, is to be able to see our children's children. Pray the younger ones are able to reciprocate same or better care you gave your aged parents in your old age. Some others, on the contrary, often pray to be in a self-sufficient state in old age without being dependent on any loved ones. In all of this, aging is an unavoidable process that will happen to us all at different times and stages in our lives. And at some point, each and every one of us will have to pay the greatest ultimate price, which is death, without any prior notice. This is a very sensitive and uncomfortable discussion most of us don't want to have. We all want to go to heaven, but no one wants to talk about death. Today, we will have a candid conversation on when and how to start planning for one's end of life and life after death. We'll discuss the essence of having a life insurance, medical power of attorney, and last will and testament. Wishes in regards to burial and funeral arrangements after we pass on will also be talked on. On a lighter note, we will briefly touch on the Nigerian political space on news that trended this past week: the Biafran State Declaration, Tinubu's trip to France, and other trending topics. As always, this is a safe place. Please join in the conversation today with an open-minded heart and be respectful to others. No bashing, insult, or interjections will be tolerated on the show today. Be reminded there's no right or wrong way when it comes to people's opinions. Please like and share the broadcast so we can reach a larger audience. Welcome to the show. Wishing all Americans a happy belated Thanksgiving. This is your girl, Tope. Welcome, Electricity. Welcome, Adama. Welcome, John Abba.
Thank you so much, Tope. Greetings everyone, to our viewers watching us. I hope you guys enjoyed. From the United States, this past Thursday was a Thanksgiving. I hope you guys enjoyed it, got time to relax, hang out with family. But we're happy. We're looking forward to this. We thank God for life. We have so many things to be thankful for. Every day we need to give thanks to God. So today's topic is going to be very interesting. And I just want us to come in to our panelists. Welcome, Uncle Janaba. Electricity, welcome. And to our viewers, please keep an open mind. Just like Tope said, we have rules. No insult. Allow people to air their opinion. You don't have to like it. That's their opinion. We agree to disagree. Please, let's remain respectful on the comment section because the comment section is being monitored. Thank you. Electricity, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Welcome for joining the platform, Tope Adama and John Aber. Listen, we can't run away from it. Uh, at one point or the other, we all will say goodbye to this world. But what we're gonna talk about today is this issue of uh, uh, having a will and not living burdens behind for loved ones to cater for one's funeral because it can be very burdensome for them. And these are the things we need to talk about. In African context, we don't like to talk about death, even though it is inevitable that it's going to happen. We see it as a taboo not to talk about it. In the Christian world, they will say, "Not my portion." For crying out loud, death is everyone's portion. It's not wishing anyone to die. It's everyone's portion. But life after death can be challenging to family members who will now have to cater for the funeral, and also where also they will get this money from to carry out this funeral, because funeral it's very expensive irrespective of where this is carried out. So this is what we will have to discuss today, including the will, the importance of making a will proud to one's death, particularly if we have a large family. Also, it is also important for the woman or the wife that a will is made as a form of protection, again, in the African context, where families often come after their brother's property and leaving the woman what? Leaving the woman penniless in the hands of what? Of the society. So these are the issues we're going to deal with today. Having a will, also the place having to save for one's funeral. People buy their funeral place, they save towards it, and they buy where they'll be buried. Some even go and see this is where I'll be buried at the end of the day. The joy of it. Like it's like the ladies have already said, we keep an open mind, because what we're about to discuss is a sensitive, even though it's a sensitive matter, it is also real. It is very real. I'll start with you, John Aber, on your take on this matter. Thank you. John Aber, are you there? Okay, John Aber is not there. Adama, I'll go with you, please. Thank you.
I'm trying to open my.
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead, John Aber.
Good evening, everyone. Love electricity, uh, Dr. Adama, and I think
Thank you. Good evening.
good evening, and Sister Topwell. Um, if I just saw the topic, I automatically think you are talking about what happened after you leave this world on the other side. I would not think that is. What happened to your loved ones when you are gone. So it's interesting. I think just like you said, electricity. It's important that we all recognize that one day uh, we are going to leave this world, and what we want to make out of it with our families and friends, far and near. How do we want to leave our legacy behind? How do we want our loved ones to remember us, the memories, and the financial aspect of it, or property, or whatever, is inclusive in a way that people plan well. I think we, the Africans, or particularly that I can speak of more, the Nigerians, but I think it's African thing, first and foremost, we don't want to accept the fact, even as real as it is, that we're going to die. We see those before us, our family members, close to us, parents, passed on, and we still believe that somehow we are not going to die, and we don't prepare for it and leave family ones with a lot of burden in terms of financial struggles, have no will. All of those things, I think it is time for us to have a genuine talk about it. Some believe that when you passed on, some people, their body have to be taken to their ancestral home. And some believe that home is where they live, where their families, especially their children can access their grave and visit, drop flowers every once in a while. That is what they want. And some believe that the new generation, I've seen some people say they just want their body to be cremated and keep it. So it is time for us now to shape our stories, history, how and what is the challenge we are having. Most people don't have life insurance, and when they live with this burden of leaving a message behind that their body should be taken to Africa with no money left behind in the account. Or is that how it should be? What is the consequences of it if your loved one body is not taken home? Some culture have a very cruel way of describing the consequences if the body of their loved ones are not taken home. So those in that those in those categories should make a valuable fund so that when things happen to them, someone cannot be mourning their loved ones for the loss of their loved ones and still struggle looking for money, go for me, or going through this to send the body home. So if that is your wish, make a room for it. Make sure you have the money down, whether it's through your life insurance or whatever you plan it, so that we make life more easy for ourselves and those we leave behind. Thank you for now, as we allow us to have your say.
Thank you very much for joining. Righteous man, I believe you had the opening speech given by me and the ladies. Uh, in terms of life after death, this is earlier. This is where we passed away. What who is responsible for taking care of the funeral? Also, doesn't matter where we're buried, because some in diaspora insist that they buried or wish to be buried back in the country, which is so expensive. What's your take on this, please, Righteous Man? Thank you.
Yeah, personally, once someone is late, he doesn't know what is transpiring here again. He has no idea. It's just like a stockfish. So while such individual is alive, he may have chosen a place where he or she will be buried. And sometimes culture and tradition is another problem. So for me, it doesn't matter where an individual is buried when the person dies. What matters is if the last respect had been paid, that's just by burying such individual. That's just me. Like I always say, those who were my seniors who died during Biafran War were not buried in our village. They were not buried in my father's compound. You know, some of them, their dead bodies were not seen. You know, so actually, it doesn't really matter where an individual is buried. For me, it's not a big deal. As long as burial has taken place, what really matters is for those who believe in eternity, where is your soul going to? Where are you going to spend the rest of your life? Because the one we live here is temporary. The life after here is a continuous thing. It has no limitation. It's like perpetual. So where do you spend the rest of that life? For me, that is what matters. It's not where such individual is buried. So let me just make it short.
Okay, righteous man. Is it Adam? I'll come to you. I'm not. Is it proper, or in your own opinion,
Did you say
to
something
leave?
to me, electricity?
No, I said I'll come back to. I'll come to you, but I'm with righteous man. Is it okay to leave responsibilities of funeral for your loved ones and for one not to save or make provisions down as to how or what they will use to spend to bury one, including the land they will be buried?
Well, it's a technical question in the sense that uh, it's not everybody that may have the financial capability to make a preparation for his or her burial. You know, some may die at the point where they had nothing, even their kids. But in a situation where somebody was financially okay before he departs, it is proper. For me, it would be ideal for financial provisions to be made and also for the person to say, in case I depart, this is where I will be buried. Like my dad, while he was alive, he instructed us not to put his body in the mortuary, that the moment he dies, he should be buried. And that was actually what happened, you know. So it's on individuals what they prefer. But I think if you are financially okay while you are living, make a provision for the resources for such burial. And if you consider it is an important thing where you will be buried, it is also good you let your family know this is your choice. When you depart, this is where you want to have your final rest. So I think it is okay.
Thank you very much. Adama, are you there? Okay,
Yes.
Adama is not. Okay. Would you want to weigh in on this, please?
What was the question again? What
The
happens to
question,
what?
the question is provisions to be made prior to one's death. The righteous man argues depends on one's financial capability, which I understand. But because death is inevitable, uh, should provision not be made from the ongoing before, whether you want his financial capability of whether irrespective of one's financial capability, should 10 naira or 20 naira not be put aside every day towards one's funeral?
I believe a man who has failed to prepare his family for his death has failed, because that is something we all are going to experience regardless of your financial background. And if we can make our time for things that we make our time to buy clothes for wedding, do things, do prepare for whatever joyous occasion. And one thing I love about having this topic is we need to have this conversation in as much as we don't like talking about that, but we need to talk about it because it's something that's going to happen. Yes, I am of the belief that you should prepare your family when you get married. Being in Africa, the diaspora, ask your loved one, whoever you are involved with, tell them, these are my last wishes. And I'll suggest, and it has nothing to do with finance, quite frankly. And I'll say there was a question when you were reading your monologue. You said something about writing down when it comes to the African culture. Why is it as soon as a man dies, the family of the man comes in and wants to take over what he has? So those are the preparation as the husband you need to have with your wife, and at the same time have with your family as well. Where do you want to what are your last wishes? What do you wish for? Where do you want to be buried? What are the things you want to be done? Because regardless of how poor you are, when you die, someone is going to bear that cost. And the question is who? Uncle Janaba said something about GoFundMe. Or they start up this thing at a WhatsApp group chats telling you this person has passed on, let's put money together. But at the same time, we need to prepare for it. It's something you need to have, like, what are your final wishes? Write it down. I don't know that there's something here in America called notary. You can go, if you don't have the financial capability of involving a lawyer, having a will, not everybody thinks having a will. Some people, yes, I understand wills does involve estate, a wills, it entails a lot. So to answer your question, electricity, yes, we need to prepare ourselves and our family, the loved ones we're leaving behind, for our departure, so that way, yes, that is inevitable. It's something that will happen. That way they are prepared and know how to go about it
Thank you.
without having to
Jonah,
buy the
oh, sorry,
financial cost
okay.
all to themselves. Thank you.
All right. Jonaba, are you there? I need to ask you this, please. You are more experienced, and I believe you've had must have encountered uh, in the matter of the passing away of the man, and the family comes to take over everything. Even in a case where there is even a will that is still being disrespected. How do you think we address this issue, or this issue should be addressed, Jonathan? Jonathan, are you
Hello.
there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear.
Give me 1 second. Go ahead with somebody else.
Okay. Righteous man, are you there?
Yeah.
Did you hear the question I asked, please?
No, sorry. I was a little bit distracted.
Okay. Let me have a sense of you. Let me make a sense of humor here. We are still alive, righteous man. We are not dead yet. So, a quick, please listen. Uh, in the event that somebody dies, and you also must have experienced and see this, where the family comes to take over the properties and leaving the woman, the wife, and the child or children destitute, even where there is a will. How do we address these issues?
Yeah, I can I speak now?
Yes, the floor is yours.
Yeah, it's absolutely very, very wrong, unacceptable to me. In fact, I led a fight against such an act some years back. There's this lady that was working with one of the embassies in Lagos. It's inter-tribal marriage. So that marriage lasted about 7 years, and the woman had no child. At the 8th year, through divine intervention, she took in and she had a baby boy. And the guy she got married to happens to be the only son of the family, of the mother and the father. And so that lady was using her finances to make sure that things work out well for the young man, you know. And in the process, the lady was able to get some financial assistance from the embassy, you know. And then she was able to buy half plot of land, you know, instead of paying house rent Lagos. So she joined her resources together with the guy, and they were able to build a bungalow, 4 rooms and a parlor, and kitchen, and the rest of it. So I got to know this lady in a church where I used to worship then. And so
Yeah, go ahead, righteous man. I've muted. Okay, it's from your back. It's from your hand. Okay, Adama, are you there, please?
Yes, I
Adama.
think he was still talking. You can let him finish. Is he still
No.
talking?
He's not talking. Madam
Okay.
Luke posed a question here. I think if you'll be in a better position to answer this question, should women not prepare to? If yes, what sort of preparation are the women meant to make in this regard?
Um, yes, the women should prepare. Yes, the women should prepare in terms of preparation. It depends on if the kid, if you have kids involved, and what kind of conversation have you had with your family. And I think for a lot of traditional men, Igbo men, or I would say African men, is all about where they are buried. Like that is very important. Like where do you want to be buried? Have you had that conversation with your family? Like what do you want? How do they like? And and there's something you say when I say women should be prepared as well. I believe in preparing, this is what I believe. This is me talking. If you want to be carried back home, I want to know where the money is going to come from. And in a situation where we have insurance, yes, then we can make provisions for that for you to be buried back home. But women need to be prepared just like the men. In other words, yes, they need to write down what their last wishes are, what they want for the kids, and discuss those. If you have grown up kids, have this conversation with your children. Because I think the mistake we make a lot of the time is, well, okay, I'll wait till you get on that topic. Yes, women should be prepared. Go ahead, electricity. And I don't
Thank
know
you.
who the
The revolution.
revolution.
Can you
Could you
please
please
turn
turn
off
off
your
your camera,
camera?
please, if you don't mind?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining Revolution. I don't know if you've been following the topic. I posed a question to Adama that Madam Luke actually asked. Well, Revolution, thank you very much. But I want to push further on that question. And this is the question she asked. Should women not prepare too? Now, in the context of, in the issue when the woman is married to a man, to a husband, uh, should it be the husband's responsibility to take care of the wife's funeral? Or shouldn't it be the husband's responsibility, I beg your pardon, to take care of the wife's funeral? Or the wife also should also be saving her own money and also buy a plot of land and have a will? Yeah, because some of them have properties, or everything is transferred to the husband. Revolution, the floor
Yeah,
is yours.
good evening to everybody and respect on this show. But that question, you see, let me start by this. You know, Nigerian women, I don't know if you are talking about Nigerian women in particular, because in the Western world, I'm married to a white lady where everything is shared equally. What she can get a building, she can get anything, she's free, she works. But in the context of Nigeria, you will find out that the women is like a second fiddle. Most of them don't work. Most of them, they just believe that their husband should take care of them. So, and they are fighting for equality. So now when you ask this question, whether it is responsibility of the husband to take care of the woman, it's kind of, it's not balanced. Only in the African context is believed that a man's responsibility is to take care of a woman, which makes sometimes when you see women who are better than their husband, people will say, oh, the woman has bewitched the man. So you see the problem where this question is a very tricky one. For me, if the woman is capable, she should be able to take care of the husband's funeral and everything, if she's capable. And many women are capable. You understand? So it will be the answer for me is a question of is whether a man or woman capable of doing such rights. It is not that it's compulsory. Okay, our culture might try to claim that it's a man's duty. You know what I mean? So for me, if the woman is capable, have the money, why not? If the man is capable, why not? If the woman can be the bread, a lot of families is women that are breadwinners of the family. So it depends. It depends. It's not a direct question. It's not a question that you say you have to be like this or you have to be like that. It depends on the pocket of individual. If the woman is wealthy enough, why not? If she loves the man, she should be able to do it. You understand me? It is not compulsory that a man is the only person who is supposed to take care by force. And women are there. You see so many Nigerian women, when you take them to restaurants, after eating, they are the one that will order the whole best food. When the check comes, they will just pass it to the man and remove their face. I tell you, they go just pass.
You really?
No, but it's true now. Am I lying? When they will drink when they say Irish cream, they say bring them. When they say pepper soup, bring them. When they just bring the beer, they go just come. Now that time they want to go toilet, please let me go and ease myself. They go just leave the man to pay. Whether the man, I don't see so many men will disappear in that situation. They too go say, okay, make I come. Let me go to my car. From there, you go run away. You don't get money. You're laughing, sister, but it's true now.
But
Okay,
can I say something?
right.
Can I say
So,
something?
can I finish my story?
Oh.
Okay.
Yes, go
okay,
ahead,
Adam.
Mr.
Go ahead.
Righteousness. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, this lady had a baby boy, and the baby boy was, I think, maybe 6 months or thereabout. And the young man took ill, and all efforts to get him cured proved abortive, and then later he died. You know. So during the day of burial, the family of the young man told that lady to pick her child's clothes and hers, and leave the compound. They are going to padlock the house. In fact, the car that lady bought that she was using to go to work, they also seized it from her and demanded that she should just pick the clothes belonging to the baby and her own and leave the house. In fact, it was a shock. And they were demanding for the documents of the house. So she called my attention that she doesn't want to contest anything with them. And then she asked me to please help her go to pastor where she submitted those documents, and get it from him. That he wants to hand it over to them, as long as they will be at peace with themselves, so that she can manage her child and her life, which I objected to. And I told her, since you are the one that bought this land, and both of you pool your resources together to build a bungalow, there's no reason why the family that were not there for both of you will now come to take over. But she insisted that I should let them have it. So I went to the pastor. I told the pastor what happened and then collected the documents and brought to her. She handed over to them. While they were burying that guy in his compound, they did not allow this woman to partake in the burial, maybe pouring sand for him or thereabout, those burial rites or rituals. They didn't allow her to perform it. So after the burial, I took the lady inside my car and drove her to the church where she was before the pastor, decided to send her to a hotel where she will stay before she gets a building. So it's terrible that a woman will lose her husband and the family of the man will come to claim whatsoever. Like from the village where I come from, it is a forbidden thing in my village, is a law for you to ask for anything that belongs to your brother or your sister that have children when that person is gone. In fact, you don't try it in my own village. It's a law. I'm not talking of family, I mean my village. You don't. Whether your husband owns 20-story building, when he's late, that property belongs to the wife or to the children. And if he was not married, then it belongs to the immediate family. They share it, especially the last one of their family. That's the law in my own village. So I find it very appalling, inappropriate for people to ask for the wealth or the material things of the late person, whether it be a man or a woman. I don't think it's right. It's not right at all. And that is why I believe that court marriage is necessary, because it's the person you married to with court certificate or marriage certificate will be able to stand to proclaim whatever that belongs to you. That's the area I support the court marriage issue in terms of marriage. It will give you a fundamental right to stand tall, even in the face of any persecution. Maybe you can hire a lawyer with it and get what you want. So that's just my submission.
Thank you very much. Dexter, thanks for joining in. I'll give you the floor to speak before I throw in a spanner. Or no, before I change, we move to a different direction. So, in the matter that we are discussing, Dexter, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe, let me just, the matter we're talking about, the role of a woman or something like that.
Now, we're
Yeah.
talking about life after death.
Okay.
Making provisions
Yeah.
for family behind.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thank you everyone. I think, well, these things are based on, they say it's, I think it's when you wake up, that's your morning. That's basically it. So some people, they are in some traditions and cultures. You have situations whereby when somebody passes on, the family of the man, take care of the woman. It goes two ways. What I would say is this: anything, any policy, any law, anything that has been made for good, you can actually turn it around and make it for bad. You can actually misconstrue it and make it evil. Example: democracy is supposed to be let the majority have their way, but the minority will have their say. And it's supposed to be like a consensus, like more people agree that this is the way we should go forward. But we can, example, the Nigerian situation, democracy is actually for the bourgeois, So does that mean that the idea of democracy is bad? No, not necessarily. And I'm just trying to say about this in the context of, we have had situations whereby they say, oh, the man's family came and took everything. That's because that was not the intention of the idea of the man. The intention was not for the man's family to come and take everything of the woman, because nobody actually thought that everybody would become wealthy. There are some families whereby the man dies. The man was never really well to do. So the woman will struggle to take care of the children. And the man's family comes, gives the woman a shelter, and take care of the woman, take care of the children, because they see it as a communality. They see those children as theirs. Now we start having outliers where maybe the man has made it. Then the family now want to come and appropriate the wealth. Then greed, envy, and all that comes into equation, and they now want to mistreat the woman, which is what happens many a times. But the idea of that system was so that it was like an insurance policy for the woman. That look, oh, if our son dies, you won't feel alone. You know, the insurance is that we are here to take care of you and make sure that your children grow, so that you don't have to go outside the family to go and marry another person. We will take care of you. I think that was the intention of that kind of custom. But obviously, it can be turned around and be used to perpetrate evil. And I think various families, it depends on where they are, you know, depends on their level of education. There are some families that level of education and exposure is so high that they've already made arrangements for their wife and for their children. However, my principle and policy is this: if you actually do want this life after death preparation, one of the best ways I would say for men, which is what I always tell men, empower your wives. That is one of the best things you can do for her. What I mean is encourage her, encourage your wife to be the best, encourage her to be able to make money, encourage her to be able to make profitable money, not the one that you're giving her money to put in the shop and then she's not making profit, so that she can be a high value woman. I know there's this fear of when the woman becomes a high value woman, she's not going to hear word again, she will be, you understand? There's always that fear. But the truth about it is that there's risk in everything we do in life, you know. But the point is this: don't empower your wife because you want to subjugate her. No, don't do that. Empower her because you want her to grow, you want her to fly, you know. And my friend, if she wants to fly out of I mean, look at Elon Musk. They asked him, like, are you afraid of losing everything? He said, what the heck? SpaceX was supposed to, after the fourth trial of SpaceX, if SpaceX didn't take off from the ground, it was going to go bust. Well, he doesn't care. If it goes bust, he'll build another thing. That should for me, that's my own ideology. You know what I mean? Don't now attach your, like the way some men, oh, I build this into you. You're not there to subjugate her and make her a prisoner. No. Empower her, make her to, so that if anything happens to you, she can take care of the children. She doesn't need to go back to any family member and all this family rancor and struggle. No. You know, and all that. And also for the women, encourage your husband, support them, you know, so that whatever it is, in whichever way. So that's the way I see it, you know. But the customs and laws that sometimes we kind of look down on today, what we should understand that they were actually put in place back then when we didn't have all this insurance and all that. They were actually the insurance that the family of the man will take care of the wife and make sure that life after death for her and her children is easy. And it works well when you see when the man was not well to do. And then the man's brothers come, give the woman accommodation. They are responsible for sending those children to school. I can say that from experience in my family, where our extended relatives passed on. All those children went to university. All those children, my extended family made sure that those children became something in life. So I've seen that happen positively. And nobody was interested in, oh, your father had a land here and your father had a land here. Nobody was interested in that. You know, but that is when everybody is enlightened. You know, so it depends on the level of exposure and education people have received. That's my take.
We'll come back to this topic. You said something very important. You said empower her. I need to press further on that, or I need to press her for us to discuss this issue of empowering her. But we all are aware of the Declaration of the United States of Biafra. I don't know which states either of you, any of us here, is aligned to or it's from. But the question is this to us: what happened next after the Declaration of the United States of Biafra? Is it the case that this United States of Biafra is going to operate from Finland or operate from Texas, or their flag will be will fly all over Nigeria? Because it's one thing to declare. Let me play a video just to give us an idea. Just let me just play a video for us and to give us an idea.
Could you wait on that video, electricity, please? Could you wait
Okay.
on that
Okay, right.
There are things we have not covered yet before you play that video
Okay,
that I
all right.
would like to cover.
Right, right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Could you I wanted to talk. There was something Dexter said about empowering our women, and I had a question for Revolution. Revolution. Um, the question Electricity asked was, how should a woman prepare herself for life after death? Given the question Madam Luke asked, so how do you answer that question?
I don't think he's there again. I think he's at work. Revolution, are you there? No, he's not there anymore.
Yeah, Dexter. Maybe you answer it. How should a woman prepare herself life after, like, should women make the same arrangement just like men? Dexter, are you
Dexter, are you
there?
there? Okay, he's not there.
Man
We'll
of
go to man
prestige.
of.
I'm here. Oh, I'm here. I'm here. Oh. I think I'm not here. I'm here, but man of somebody can speak. I'm here. Man of prestige can
Okay,
speak. I'm here.
man of prestige, welcome to the show. I had a question. We were talking about life after death.
Hey, Adama, go to the next person. I will join. I mean, I will speak in few minutes. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Um, I think my generalization is not here, so let me talk.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead, sir.
No, it's just to keep us busy, no. Um, I think everybody have to prepare. The fact is that nobody know who will go first. Um, also understand when it comes to the context of Nigeria, every home, every community, every tribe is different. The way death play out. Uh, Righteous Man just narrated a story about what happened to that young lady. It can be vice versa if it is other tribes. I think you guys are talking on the context of the mainly related to this. I don't want to be political, but this is within this 40 state of Biafra that sentiment resonate. But outside that, um, they will women have properties. They have their own building. There are some women that are not married, but they have children, and they come from a family, and they also have to uh, write down their will, how their property will be shared. So, in the context of that, the question is yes, both have to be prepared. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Janaba. There is something I wanted to ask. In a situation like our country, do we believe, is there anything called life insurance in Africa? Anybody can
Yes,
answer the
there
question.
is in Lagos and some areas. There is, but it's not too common. But of course, there is life insurance,
So that
and it's
so there's
commonly in
life
the
insurance
western.
that you pay for. Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
yes. Yeah.
Okay. And how
There's
about
life insurance now. There is car insurance, and I find out that even those people do more than in the West here in terms of respond. But unfortunately, there are people that still get caught up within, maybe you are talking about 3% of people that have insurance. So the risk of you get hit by non-insured vehicle and you make a claim, you know that the insurance company will not take it lightly because in the case of the West here, you can you too you can still get through the same problem if you don't have
mhm.
uninsured vehicle insurance. hit you and run. Let's say somebody hit you, hit and run, or you park your car, somebody
Hmm.
damage it and go off. That is where it get complicated in Nigeria.
Nigeria.
So
Wow,
yes.
thank you for educating others. Because why I asked the question on life insurance, we know here in the diaspora, we have access, like you can invest, like I look at it as an investment because life insurance is something that is very important. I feel every family needs to have, not just on the spouses, husband and wife. You can get life insurance on your children. You can get life. Let me tell you, my dog has dog. Everything in my house is insured. So you can get life insurance on your parents. If you have elderly parents that are living with you, they have social security number. Like those are things I think a lot of our people don't know that you can have. Because I think when we think about life insurance as a whole, we only look out husband and wife. We don't think about the children. Yes, the children can have life insurance. My children have had life insurance from when they were born up to now. So, and the older they get, you can increase it. So, I want people, our viewers out there to know that you can have life insurance on your kids. And as well, your parents, if you have elderly parents who are staying with you or are staying with your other siblings, call a family meeting, talk about having a life insurance for your parents. Like if they come here, they have like they have their papers. I am only talking about parents I know that have their documents. I don't know those that come on a visa. The ones I'm talking about are in regards to documents. So I think we need to be more proactive about it and promote it. Life insurance is a good thing. The question now is now who is the person who um gets to inherit everything when it comes to the like who will be the next of king. And that brought me to this medical question, which is medical power of attorney. Like when you come to the hospital, once you're admitted, they ask you who do you want to discuss your medical um situation, like your condition with. And I've witnessed a lot of time some people have their mom back home as who you need to discuss their medical condition with. So my question to you guys is why is it that we have not just even I've seen women, they'll make their family, their sibling, their nest of king instead of their spouse. Why do you think we don't, when it comes to medical condition, we tend not to talk about it, like who will make the final situation in a situation you find yourself that you can make decisions for yourself medically? Why don't we talk about that more? Man of prestige, I'll go to you if you're there, sir.
Sorry,
Yeah.
man of Percy, before you speak, Adama, I thought I heard, however, I heard you say you have medical insurance for your dog. Would that be correct?
Of course, yes.
What happens if I can't have 3 square meal a day and you are having medical insurance instead of investing the
Too
money
bad
or
you're not
buying?
Zoe. Electricity, forget it. You're not Zoe.
Sorry, man of Prestige, the floor is yours.
Man of prestige, yes. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm here greeting everybody. It's nice to be on the platform again. I hope everybody has a nice time Thanksgiving like I did.
Yes, I did.
So
Yes, I'm doing the back home party. We're having a party now, so I'm like, okay, yes,
okay, that's
we did.
that's good. I have a lot of families over here. So but I just sneak in to talk, so I ask them to pardon me. So they're over there in the upstairs. But anyway, um very interesting topic. We're talking about we're talking about life after death, right? Is it pertaining
Yeah,
to men
life
or women?
after death. And why is it that when it comes to the medical power of attorney, like who do you want to make decisions for you medically when you're dead no more? And I said the situation I have witnessed is I see people put down their mom's name. The women will have their family name, and they came into the hospital with a spouse. Why?
So it's a family dynamic in that situation. It depends on how that family how do they work together or not. In my own situation. I mean, I already have my way, routine, and everything. Who I want to be portion and everything. But my wife has the power of attorney. So she's going to distribute whatever is left to whomever my kids and everything. Even sibling. So that's the way I have the rating. I mean, I don't know how people go out of the family, but like I said, depending on what suits you, it's a matter of family dynamic. If that's where I agree, in that respect. But in my own case, my wife, is the alpha and omega in that regard. I am, when it comes to her, too, because hello,
Yes, we can hear you. I think
yeah,
it's Mr. Uncle Ike is, yeah, he just
okay.
muted. Yes, we
So
can hear
the
you.
so the point is that you don't know who's going to go first, you know. So that's where the insurance, come in. You have to have a good insurance, depending on what you can afford, But insurance is very imperative, That's how you have,
So, do
That's
you
why,
believe in having life insurance for your kids as well?
of course,
Okay.
yeah, I do definitely, yeah,
Okay.
because you don't know what's going to happen, Yeah. So
So,
I
should
mean,
women
I'm going to
prepare
even let
for
my kids,
death?
have insurance on me, you know. So
So,
I don't.
so Madam Luke asked a question: should women
Yeah.
prepare for death just like we expect the men to? Do
You
you
should,
say
you should
yes?
be, you should be because you don't really know who's gonna go first. But men tend to go first. But that's just, I mean, it's not the same. You don't know who's gonna go first. So it should be a reciprocal, vice versa. You should be able to prepare, because women are already in power, already. So why not do it? They don't have to empower the women, They don't have to say, I'm going to prepare for the women. They can be empowered when I'm gone. No, yeah, spoons or whatever, should be empowered already while both of you are still, functioning. I mean, like for my own case, I mean, I have houses here, something like that. We already decided. Initially, we wasn't deciding in that form that we're gonna retire in Nigeria, but in this case, it was a decision we made recently. That we're gonna do like my parents did. We're gonna retire in Nigeria. That's the way we do it. And the houses that we have here and everything, we're gonna put some of them for rent and everything. I mean, I have a lot of houses, I'm into real estate, so that's not an issue. I'm gonna leave it for my kids, but I'll be coming here, as much as I want to, as a citizen. But we have decided we're gonna retire in Nigeria in that case. So those kind of things, I'm talking about the house, that's gonna be part of what I'm gonna leave for my kids, and I give them, the houses, whomever, depend on how I portion the houses to be. So, but anyway, so the final line, you have to have a way, while you're still in this life, and have a power for attorney who is going to be in charge of it. That's very, very. It's not when you're gone, then there'll be a family problem. If things is not written down, you know. So
So,
that.
man of prestige, let me tell you a situation. And Topper just wrote something on the comments. I've seen a
Mm-hmm.
situation where the man died. He made power of attorney to someone other than the wife, and the wife ended up suing the person he made power of attorney. So, like you said, everybody's situation is different.
Right.
Should we, as the wife, know who the power of attorney is? I say yes.
Yes, definitely. I mean, okay, let's assume, have a neutral, none of the spouse, none of them has the powerful attorney of each other or whatever. Yeah, your wife or your husband should be able to know who's in charge of it, who is the power attorney is going to be. I mean, I think it's good. I mean, what do you want to hide it? So after you die or after you have gone, so the the person that has the power attorney will just appear and say, okay, this is the decision I'm going to make. No, you have to let your wife, you have to let your partner know. I mean, that's the way I think about it. I mean, everybody has different. Like I said, it's a matter of family dynamic. Every family is different. Whatever suit them, whatever make you happy. People live differently.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
s- yeah.
Thank you so
Adama,
much.
can I give you one scenario that I know,
Yes.
like,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir.
I I saw what Tope wrote.
Why is Tope not here anyway?
No, she stepped up for a second. She'll be right back.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm here. You asked me a
Yeah,
question.
Who is that? Revolution. Where
Yeah, it's
Revolution,
me.
where
It's
have
me,
you been?
brother.
where have you been? They've been calling you Revolution. Stop it.
Yeah, yeah. I was around. I've been listening, but where I was, I couldn't speak out loud. So, But
Yeah,
the
when Uncle
question.
Jonaba finished talking, can you talk? He was about to say something.
Okay, okay,
So,
okay. Sorry
yeah,
about
Uncle
that.
Jonaba, can you go ahead, sir?
Okay, these couples, they have been living together for the past 6 years. They don't eat their food, they do something separately, but they are living together.
Wait
The
a minute. Wait
last
a
time
wait a minute.
there was a
John
party
Abba,
at
can
it's outside
John
the Dallas metro area. He
Abba.
invited me. I went. It's when he told me all of that. In that case, uh, if do you think if that man passed away, or even before he passed away now, don't you think you have somebody as the next of kin? Do you think she's gonna, or even vice versa, even though they live as a husband and wife? So there are many couples that live uh as worse than enemy, and I don't know why. But then in that case, you can see the reason why some people can just put their nest of skin to even not a brother in America, even not a brother in Nigeria, who is may not even ask some of those things, except some of the property or anything invested in Nigerian space. But you can imagine that kind of now tomorrow if this one passed away, say I lost my friend or I lost my wife or I lost my enemy. So there are a lot of things that go on between husband that even though we see them together, that can result until things like that, that something happen like this and this thing come to the public awareness that oh this person do this or write this, but it's all begin while they are alive and the relationship they have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Jonaba. Man of Prestige, you had a question for Uncle Jonaba.
No. I was gonna ask him before he started the question. What was he talking about? I already got the gist about about the family he was talking about. So, but
Okay.
anyway, in reference to what Don Abba said, that's what I mean by family dynamic. It's kind of different.
To
Every
me, they
family
are
is different.
roommates, though. To me, that is roommates. You guys are
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
married.
yeah. But it's a lot of people, Adam. It's a lot of people that live like that. So it's if yeah, it's a lot of people. Believe me, if you don't know.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. If you live as with your wife as a roommate, when the nest of king happened, so why should the woman be shocked that she's not the nest of king?
Exactly. That is it.
Right.
So, a revolution. Back to you, sir. So, why is it that people are afraid of talking about death? And Uncle Janaba said a lot of couples in the diaspora, even back home, they live as roommates. And once the man died, they are surprised that they are not the next of king. The man has made the next of king one of his family member and not the wife. So that's the question, sir.
Yeah, sorry for breaking out. You see, this question, you are combining the Western world and the Nigerian culture. Because if you want to talk about developed, I'm in a mixed marriage where everything is equal. You understand? Like now, between me and my wife, we have everything equal. We live equally. When the month come, everybody pay the same amount. Nothing like I'm more superior because of. But when you talk about our African culture, there are some rich people in a family. The family will compel them. They will say, she's your wife. So that wife, they will say, is our wife. That man is not married to her like we marry here in the Western world. Is a wife or a tool to the family. So when you talk about that nest of king, for example, in African context, you can hear it in so many, especially in the Igbo culture. When I think the court have changed that law, they say even when a man dies, the wife is not supposed to even take anything at all. So in the Yoruba culture, sometimes when a man die, the brother to the man is like culture to take over the man's not wife. So when you talk about next of kin, it depends. It depends on the educational level of these people. You understand me? If like both of us are educated, aware, your family doesn't have much power to intervene. A educated man knows that the next of kin is the wife, because the wife has children for that man. So if you now take the next of kin and give your family, so who is, and if it's a greedy family, for example, which is normally the case, how can you not take care of your children when you are no more? You understand? If you don't make your wife next of king, how is she going to get the money to cater for your children when you take next of king and go and give to one brother who didn't know when you people were struggling or anything? You say, so this is a cultural thing. And that question asked before I ran out, how should women prepare in case of death of their husband? A woman should be prepared at all time. Like most analysts have said, nobody knows who is going to go first. So it's from both sides. If the man goes, and in a case of where many African men, they marry a younger wife, for example, most of the case, their wife should be maybe sometimes 10 years younger or 5 years younger. So if the man dies older than the wife, if the wife can still continue, she can remarry. Yeah, she can continue her life. She cannot say because that man is gone now. Okay, so women might decide the love is so tight. It depends now. The life is I cannot find another man that can take the place of my husband, my sweetheart for many years. It's up to her. So preparing for sudden death of such matter, especially if something happens to the man and the woman is still young to carry on, she has to carry on. That is my answer to that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Uncle Ike, welcome to the show. Could you please unmute, sir, your nest, sir? Uncle Ike, are you there, sir? Uncle Ike? While we're waiting on him, Dexter, could you please unmute, please? Your final this thing we've covered.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I might not be conventional, I might not go the popular way in my answers to all this. One, I think what we need to do, especially as Africans, is that we shouldn't just abandon our unique and cultural way of doing things. We should adopt what the Europeans did, which is make it better, improve it. Rather than, because I found out what we do in Africa is that we tend to just throw everything we've done away and we just adopt what the Europeans have done and think because it's working for the Europeans, it will work for us. But down the line, we have found out that it doesn't work that way because there's a building phase. That's why if you go to many of the European countries, you find out that they keep the historical evidence of the things they've done. They don't throw them away so that generations can come and you can tell a story. But if you come to Africa, in many countries, you find out that you can't tell a story between when things started and where they are at that point in time, because everything to show evidence is destroyed. It's completely destroyed. Now, it's still the same thing we are trying to, in this whole life after death and all that preparation. That's why I say that it's not like the African methodology was evil and bad. It wasn't. But in every system, you will find people trying to supplant it. So you had wrong applications of the system. So, like I was saying, this situation of wicked cousins and all that, that's maybe when the man is well to do. Have we seen situations whereby the man that dies is not well to do? He didn't have money. He has 5 children. The wife doesn't have an opportunity to take of those 5 children. What happens? I've seen situations like that many a times where the family come together and take care of those children, make sure some of them, train them to become medical doctors, engineers, make sure they became meaningful people in the society. I've seen it happen, and it's a success story. It's a success story. So it's not like doom and gloom for the African methodology. I think we should encourage our own system, because it's just like they call the Waboy apprenticeship system of the Igbos. It is very successful. And as somebody now went to do a study, I think in Harvard, about it. So imagine if they just, because of the Western, they just throw away that their trade system. They will lose it. They will lose their economic power. They will lose their skill as a commercial, as people of great commerce. That's what they will lose it completely. They will lose it because that is knowledge that is passed down from generation to generation. So I don't think we should throw away our African unique methodologies. We should keep it. We should enhance it. We should study it more and make it better and make it work for everybody and read out the injustice in it. The idea of next of kin and all that. That's why I say if people are, if there is a commitment to making everybody educated and everybody enlightened, you will find out that that whole idea of because the man made his brother next of kin will not be an issue. We seem to think that, I think it is, you don't have to agree with the person, but like, I don't necessarily agree with this person, but there's some things the person said which I like, which are true. Like, I think you see Dr. Miselechi was saying something. She said, when you get married to somebody, so imagine you get married to a guy, maybe you got married when you were 27, I got married to a guy that is 32. That guy has lived with his family for 32 years. 32 years, 32 solid years. He has built bonds and relationship with those his family members. Probably before he met you, he had made his brother next of kin, because that was the person that if he died that day, that was the person that would break all boundaries to come to him. You make that person next of kin, and you get married to him. You want him to just change it to you immediately? No. Yes, he's married to you. You have to. Yes, he's married to you, but it doesn't just. He's going on a journey with you. The marriage with you is a journey. It's not immediately he gets married to you, he changes everything. And no. I don't think so. Just swap it around. That if a woman that is wealthy gets married to a guy, and then the guy start pushing her, change everything, change all the next of kin, the woman and her family will say that guy is a gold digger. They'll say that guy is a gold digger. That he's just coming there because of the.
Miss Moderator, I please, I'm sorry to interfere, man, but Dexter, I don't really agree with you.
You don't have to agree. You don't have to agree. I said something when I started. I said I'm not going to go conventional, so you don't have to agree with me.
No, I'm not saying that I'm agreeing or not disagreeing, but there are some things you say, which is that problem Nigerians have. That thing that many wicked families does, destroys a family. Somebody is married to the wife. The family should know that that man now has started his own family. Like the same family that we are talking about.
You're not listening to me.
I'm listening very carefully.
No.
I'm listening very carefully.
If you were
we have this problem, brother. Just give me a second to interject you, if you allow me, please. We have this problem in Nigeria, especially in the Igbo part of Nigeria, where there are some families, they will never allow the wife to take anything, and the court has overturned that law. They will not, the family will say no, because you are claiming now that because the man has lived with the family for so long, then tomorrow they marry a wife. That man is marrying to start his own family. Thank you. That's what I want to put to you before you
thank you very
need
much.
to. Sorry, Dexter. You said something also that I wanted to ask. You said you just got, if I'm correct with getting married to somebody new, and you expect the person to change their next to change the name from their brother who they've had as next of kin for years to their wife or husband. Would that be correct if I heard you right?
Yes, I was making a reference to past. I was making a reference to someone. I wasn't saying that. I said I made a reference to someone. That's what somebody was saying. And I said,
I understand that, but
yeah.
You see, this is a wife, this is a husband. Is it not proper that after, irrespective of they've made somebody made my brother my next of kin for the past 20 years, and I got married to someone who is gonna be can be reached way far before my brother or my sister? Is it not wise for the person to change their name to next of kin? Because next of kin is next of kin is not about money. I hope we have to understand that it's not just about money. It's about our health as well too. Because if I put my brother's name as my next of kin and it's all the way in Nigeria, They can't reach him. So
you've made a very good point. Electricity. Now, if you listen to what I said, I know that's why I said that my answers are not going to be conventional. But if you listen to what I said, you understand. One, I said something. I said marriage is not a sprint; it's a journey. A man has been in his family for 13 years. He has his brother. Next of kin is some of his documentation. You get married to him. Many people actually don't actually have somebody as a next of kin, not because they didn't want to put their wives, but many of them, it just so happened that they had done those documentations a long time ago, and they've even forgotten. I give a very very clear scenario. My friend, Surveyor Query from Port Harcourt, lived with his wife, married happily. His wife passed on. His wife rose to become like a principal in a state school. His wife passed on. Guess what? The next of kin on her document was her sister. The next of kin on her document was her sister. The man was telling us how difficult, and I think that her sister that the next of kin had even passed on. So how difficult it took them like 3-4 years before. And this money, it's not like the man wanted the money. It was his children that were going to take whatever it was that was, because the gratuity they were supposed to pay her, everything was stuck. Now, is it because she didn't want to put her husband's name as next of kin there? I don't think so. I think when she started her employment, she was already working. She got married to the man. So what happens many times, many people have next of kin. That's why this situation where I'm saying we cannot. That's why I said we cannot just. There's no treat things like logic, like computer, like it is 01010101. No, it's not 010101. Somebody says, oh, in the east, you like you're saying, there's been one situation you've heard about oppression. I've told you, I've seen witnesses many situations whereby the man dies and the family of the man take care of the man, take care of the man's wife, take care of the man's children. I've seen situations whereby somebody died, they gave the woman land, property, stay here. The woman even had children. Another person came and pregnanted her inside that place that they gave her land. They did not chase her out. I've seen it. I know about people like that. The woman,
thank you.
So let's not just make this thing 0101. It's like this and like that. We have to be open-minded to discuss it.
Dexter, I agree with your submission, and whatever, you're entitled to opinion, but there's something that quite does sit well with me. You said something about he's been living with the family for, I know you want painting out a scenario, for 30-something years, and he just married her. Why should he just change everything over? He has no business being married to that person, because guess what? If you're going to marry that person and sleep in the same bed and eat the food that person cooks, you shouldn't have gotten to the point of marriage. And for those that have filled out documents before they get married, that's what is called dating and having conversation. Going through your documents. That's something I do every year that my birthday comes through. I go through my save, I go through the documents that I have and shred out documents that I don't need to be there. Things that I need to change, I have them changed. It's called keeping up with things. We need to have this conversation. In as much as we don't like talking about debt, but this is a conversation we need to have. And Dexter, thank you for your opinion. Electricity, are you ready for your video?
yes, please.
All
Let
right,
me
thank you.
Let me put the question up again so that what next after the declaration
Sister
of
Adanma, can I say something? Sorry, I couldn't speak when you called me.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Electricity, can you wait? Let Uncle Ike talk, then you can put up your video.
no
Thank
problem,
you.
no problem. Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, sir. There was, sir.
God bless you, my sister. Please, if you can put me what they discussed. I've been listening, but I don't want to.
The discussion is I'm having power of attorney, and how do we prepare our family before our deaths? And why is it that we do not like talking about deaths as Africans, even though we're all going to die? Yes, sir.
Okay, because I've been listening about marriage, living together for 20 years, 30 years. I don't understand if it is marriage or boyfriend or girlfriend, or is it like
Yes, so Uncle Chodamba told that story. Uncle Chodamba told that story. He said they are just living like roommates. And Man of Prestige said yes, that there are a lot of our marriages. People are just living together, but they are not married. Like they are living together as roommates.
Oh, okay. Well, I just believe that if you want to follow Bible principle, the Bible says, haven't you read? Jesus replied that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female and said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate or put asunder, as we used to say, right? That's what we say. Even when we are the day on the marriage in the altar, we used to say that, right? Um, but I think that, like as you said, everybody's gonna die. Nobody knows the day they're gonna die, right? So I think it's the responsibility of both parties to be able to, to prepare for that eventualities that will gonna happen. Um, like I'm an Igbo man, right? But still, the cultures of Africa where I come from has not gone. So I live in the Western world, but I'm still an Igbo man. So I think that um, it should be something that we can talk about, because it's good to talk about life after death for the those that are living. At least we learn from experience. We in Alibo today there were a lot of people who, after they passed away, either untimely passed away, and the family of the man decide to frustrate the wife and the children, either by trying to confiscate everything the man has. I think such scenario should not be what we should be talking about in this modern time, right? So I think that the man and the wife will be able to have that painful discussion about what happens, because none of them knows who is going to go first. Nobody gives life, it's God that gives life, right? So I think on that perspective, it is very, very important that we talk about it, right? Yeah, you understand? I talk about it, and it's very important that families talk about it. We have to prepare that. Everybody has to know what will happen after we might leave this world, so that the people we are leaving behind, either your wife, your husband, or your children, they don't suffer um, because of what you failed to do. So I think it's a right and proper conversation to have, and I think that it is a good conversation, and I really enjoyed what have been said. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Adam, are you there? Okay, she's not there. So we're going to highlighted a topic that we want to go next. We'll come back to this death issue, life after death. It's what happened next after the declaration of Biafra. And I want to play a
Yes,
video.
I'm back. I'm sorry,
Uh,
electricity. Yes, I
you are
just had to
forgiven.
go check on them.
You went to check on your dog that you favor more than me that I've not eaten 3 times a day. You have insurance on. I just need to know. All right. Thank you for that. Let me play the screen for us. Here it is. Please let me know if you are seeing it.
The lives that we are still losing. As a member of cabinet, I stand here to affirm, on the basis of the grievances and of the referendum, for our forefathers, for this generation, for the next generation to come, I affirm the declaration and restoration of the United States of Biafra.
Yeah, sorry about this. Yeah, what happened next? Is the flag going to be all over Nigeria, or this declaration of Biafra is only in Finland that it will be recognized? What happened next is the question before us in the matter of the declaration of the United States of Biafra. Adama, I hand the floor back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, Tope came in. Tope, welcome back. Everybody is your viewers have been asking of you, so I told them you stepped out and you'll be right back. So, what is your opinion on the declaration of Biafra? I thought Biafra was declared before. I'm confused. Eh? Tope, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Adama.
Yes. So, what is your opinion on the declaration of Biafra, United States? Did they
The
just
same
put
way,
United
the
States of
same way you are
Biafra?
confused is how I'm confused. I'm from Odumegu State. That's the only state that I remembered from the list of states. Odumegu. That's the only state I remember.
Tope, what is the movement? What do you mean by that?
That's one of the states.
Thank you.
That's one of
Only
the
Thank
the
you,
movement.
please.
Odumegu is a state in Biafra. It's one of the states.
Oh,
Tope.
that's okay.
I'm from Odumegu State.
Are you
Okay,
talking
so
about the
Tope.
one that was, just declared? They have or the Megu
Yes,
state.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. I
Please,
didn't
how did
follow.
you guys come up with the name? So, can you explain more, educate our viewers? Like, what is your excitement? I know
They
Madam
even
Luke
have
is one.
they even have Ikemba State. There's Ikemba State too.
Wow. Okay, Tope, you followed it pretty good. I
Tope,
just
you really.
I I didn't follow that, but
I've been
I
watching
speak during my
attack.
time coming. I have my opinion.
I'm just
So,
wondering what's up with Simon Ekpa. I guess there must have been an agreement. They must have come to that conclusion that and expected that something could have happened to Simon while they were trying to get this Biafra state, and they must have had a plan in advance, because I'm wondering how they were able to continue without Simon in the picture. And I thought it was meant to be the 2nd of December. So today is the 30th of November and all this happened. So was that to kind of confuse the Nigerian states by claiming that they were going to declare Biafra on the 2nd of December and then doing it earlier than that? I'm just wondering what's up with that. So what's next? Again, as the electric said, what's next? Now that they declared Biafra, what's going to happen on Monday?
that's a good question. Thank you so much, Tope, for your submission. This is my concern. When the declaration happened, I didn't see any news, any media, like being invited, like telling them what, like, I didn't even see anybody, any government officials in Finland. So the people that went to the thing are like people who live within the Europe and all those things. And I'm just confused. Like, why was this done? I know they keep using this word exile. Like, and why was I didn't see Ohane Zendibo
They
or
can't,
whatever.
Adama, they cannot show up because that'll be treason. You can't have two governments from the
Okay,
same
but
country. So you can't
but
see
these
any government
people.
official from
Can I
Nigeria there.
can I come in?
Yes, all the man of president have you coming. This is my concern. Topa, you said that would be treason. These people come online and show their face, say all these things, do this thing, and you travel back to Nigeria, you have family back there. So if you come online, you're doing all this, and you went all the way to Finland, don't you think you're putting your family at risk? Like, I'm not understanding. All these names you just gave us, maybe man of prestige would explain better to us. Go ahead, man of prestige, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very important topic. For a disclaimer, I will just make it straight that I've said it in several places. I'm a Biafra. Okay, when people say they're Biafra, I don't know why people just get, just get their head, like something wrong with them. I mean, what is wrong with say you're a Biafra? Just like you saying, Tope say it's an Oduduwa. It's just the Arewa say the Arewa. I mean, when people say that, nobody castigate them or do something like that. That does not mean that I'm on a Biafra. You know, my dad fought in the Biafran war. I'm a default from Biafra. So just the name, that does not mean I want a Biafra. Like I always said, I'm a proponent of one Nigeria. If a referendum come today, I will vote for to, to, to remain in one Nigeria. But if the majority carry the vote, I will gladly go to my homeland. If I have to go to other part of Nigeria, if I have to have a visa or whatever, then I go. I will gladly join them. But this is where I'm coming from. Everybody have the opinion. And there's something I've noticed recently, that I said, okay, this issue, I'm not gonna kill myself anymore, about what's going on, because the world is in a different space. Because I'm looking at even at all what transpiring in America. I didn't mean to bring American politics, but I'm just gonna use that as an example. I mean, all the whole shenanigans, the nonsense. I mean, I'm not for Trump, but just the personality. What that trends that man, and people still voted for me, and he's ruling America right now. That's the same thing that's happening when I look at my brothers in the East or wherever. I say, why did they believe this illusion that Simon Ekpa is going to give them this and that? So you know what? And we just respect them, because if you look at what's happening in that part of the country, there's a lot of people that really believe, into that Biafra narrative. I mean, into Biafra separating. A lot of people. I mean, I can understand. I can understand how where they're coming from. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to stay here, in America, because things are going okay with
Okay,
me.
okay. Sorry to interject, man of prestige.
Yeah.
I am confused. I understand what Biafra is. And if anybody missed it, Dr. Dominic did a good explanation when he came. I understand what Biafra means. Now, my confusion is, what is IPOB?
Okay. IPOB is the group of Biafra. The indigenous people of Biafra. That's what it means. IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra. That means the originality of Biafra. So that's what that IPOB mean. It doesn't mean anything derogatory. Forget about proscribing him as a terrorist. There's nothing terrorist. I mean, some people may be committing crime, but they are not recognized in the world as a terrorist. That may be a Nigerian designation, because the world said no. IPOB is not a terrorist organization. It's an organization with indigenous people of Biafra. That's what it means. So I guess they're trying to tell you that they're origin of Biafra. If you want to be in that category, that's exactly what it means. So you want me to continue with my narrative?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
So the point I'm trying to make is that I'm not gonna come anytime I come on the platform, force against people who want the Biafra, who want to separate. I mean, that's the opinion. The world is just in a different space right now. I can't impose my will on somebody, or try to challenge them about how they think, but I will only play my own narrative. So the question you asked, now that the Biafran this thing has been declared, what is it from now going on? It's nothing, because it's just an illusion. It's a fantasy. I mean, you can't be an autopilot, country. That's not possible. I'm not against what they did. Whatever they did, that's what they believe. I commend them. I saw some of the things they did, and some of them was just AI generated, nonsense, telling you that Flavor came there, P Square came there. They show their picture like they're landing. I mean, that is AI generated. Not Flavor did not show up in in Finland. P Square. You see, this is what.
Man of prestige, why are you giving out their secret? Leave them
No, no,
alone
no, no.
now.
No, no, no. Did you all watch it? Tope, did you watch
Yes,
it?
I saw. Tope
They
watched it. Oh, Tope
they
is reporting
claim
for
It
they
Finland.
claim
was
that Tope.
the woman declaring those states, announcing those 40 states. That was the part that I saw on, I think, Instagram or something.
Okay, but there's a lot of part that came in. That they claim. They show Flavor. I mean,
You
it's an
didn't hear when
AI
they said
generated.
Flavor
Yeah.
was coming in and
No, it's not that Flavor was
Rude
coming. They
boy.
show
Yeah,
they
they
show
showed
Flavor was in the
Flavor.
convention.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They show P Square was in convention. What's the other short movie star? I've forgotten his name. I think he's from Imo State. One of them is from Abia State. There are two of them. They show one of them came to what's the name of that short little man in Nigerian movie? What if I've forgotten his name? Anybody know who I'm talking about, right? He's a well-known movie star in Nigeria, but he's like a
Are you
midget.
talking about Aki and Popo?
Yeah, right. They show him that he was there too. So the point I'm trying to make, but all those things are fallacy. It's AI generated something. Why are they deceiving their people?
I
Gullible. That's the
disagree
part
with
that
you, my brother. I disagree with you. When I reach
N-
my turn, I will
none of
explain.
them was there. Okay. Okay, you probably one of those gullible, but anyway, that's their prerogative. So none of them was there. Like I said, I'm not against what they said. I'm not against what they want to, what they want. That is all good. If that actually happen, actualize, I will join them, but I'm not going to be part of that because that's not what I want. But all these things that just
Okay,
happen
sis,
right now,
sorry for pushing back. You said you would join
I,
if
I'm a
Yeah, you
Biafran.
want to
I
reap
just told
what
you.
you didn't sow. You want to
okay.
reap where you didn't sow.
Is it just for me to see you? Because
Wait a minute. Wait,
I
wait a
didn't
minute.
think
What? Hold on. Hold on.
you wanted
What am I supposed to do? Am I not on there just because I didn't fight for it?
No,
Are
if
you
you
gonna?
don't disagree, if you don't agree with them, you don't have to join when everything is sweet.
Is that not where my home is? Is that not where my
Then you
family
have to
live?
join
Father?
right now. You have to join right now.
No, no, no. I don't believe in that cause.
Yeah, Nigerian
I
system.
believe I believe the Igbo will be better in one Nigeria if it is a working country. I mean, I know it's not working right now. So
And it
are
will
you
never work except there's a revolution there.
okay? Okay, that's the part you want to follow. But the point I'm trying to make is that I don't want to fight for that cause because if we have to fight for that cause, we have to do it in the right way. But if you ask me which is the right way, I don't know which is the right way. But the methodology they are using right now is not the right way. All this sit at home. I mean, they've been sitting
Please,
at home for.
moderator, give me my chance. Let me explain that to that brother what is the right way.
Go ahead.
Madam President, have you finished?
No, I'm
Revolution,
not
I'm going to
finished.
come.
I'm
Oh,
not finished. You want me to go ahead and
okay.
finish?
Yeah, go ahead, finish so that
Okay. So
Revolution,
so
can you be patient? Then you explain everything
Right.
to us.
So the
Thank
problem
you.
I have is the methodology they are using to achieve this. I know it's impractical. It's just an illusion. It's not possible. You've been doing this for 3 years, and every year you say you're going to declare Biafra. You say election will not hold, election will still hold. How many times Samanepa has said Biafra is going to be declared, and is the next one not on Monday, and it's not going to happen. That is the problem I have with it. And you're here, collecting money from people. Is that sit at home that I'm against? I'm not saying I'm not saying somewhere or whatever is the perpetuator of the whole crime or the whole problem we have in the government may be part of it. People like Hope who's or the man, something like that. They may be part of it, but we don't have. So let's stop this one first. Let's stop the sit at home. That's the only one I'm against. I don't care about what Sameba did or whatever. But this sit at home is not helping the Southeast economically. Do you know the figure that I just found out? We have lost 333 trillion naira in that space in economy. 333 trillion naira and plus life lost due to this sit at home. So that's my issue. I don't care how they achieve it or whatever. Do it in whatever way it's going to work, but the sit at home, I don't believe in sit at home. It's going to actualize that Biafra or this kind of
Thank you.
method they are using, killing people or
Thank you.
whatever. I'm not blaming them for the whole problem they have over there. So they
Yeah.
have this is the problem. And this fallacy that you're going to declare Biafra, what next? There's nothing next, Adama. It's all fallacy. All these declarations they did Tuesday go. Where does it go? Nothing. Samanepa,
All right. Thank you.
nobody know where Samanepa is. You're hearing different news. I don't even believe any news. They say the next month, no, till January. That's when it's going to appear in the courts, January or February. So we don't even know because Samanepa is somewhere in detention or house arrest. That's why he didn't come. And they keep on deceiving people, making it sound like Samanepa was alive or appear. I was speaking. They want to pull out some old video. Why are you deceiving your followers? This is my annoyance part of it. But anyway, I speak the next. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much,
I
Mr.
think sorry for interjecting. I think his Samalepa case is coming up 13th of this month, if I'm correct. Or
When
is it next year? I think his case. I saw it on the news. His
yeah, I think it's
case.
next year. Next year, sometime
I think
next
it's
year.
next year. Yeah, I don't know if he's still remanded in prison or if
No,
he's
no, but
released.
nobody know. But he's
Okay.
something. He's been detained. Let's call it
Yeah.
as it. There's no way
Uh,
someone used to tweet 10 times a day. And he hasn't done that for the last 5 or 6 days. So something is wrong. Let's just see. Let's just call it.
Okay, thank you so much. Can we have Revolution since he's one of the movements let's respect his opinion and let him express it. Go ahead, Revolution, you're next.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Moderator. You see, if you look at the origin of Biafra uprising, Nnamdi Kanu is just like me who has the opinion of one Nigeria. One Nigeria is not working. Nigerians have no balls to fight these criminals holding us down. People are bringing solutions. These people who say, like my brother who just finished speaking now, they will tell you they don't agree, but they don't have a solution. People who have thought, okay, if this is not working, let us divide and see, maybe there will be a solution there. They, in one way, will tell you it's not possible. In another way, they are the people making it not possible. You understand me? Because most of them are people, let me call them the middle class. Most Igbos who don't agree with Biafra are the middle class of Nigeria. They have a lot of businesses. Some of them are acquired legally. Some of them are acquired through that failed system in Nigeria. That's how they got their money from. And they know that if there's a new kid in town through revolution or through protest or through Biafra, they will lose out. That is when they will tell you, no, it's not possible. But just like he said, if he succeeds tomorrow, I will join them because I'm part of them. You see hypocrisy there? You see why I get angry with people like that? They don't want it to happen, but they know that it will happen. He's talking about it's just a dream. It's an illusion. What they did today is just a fallacy. They bring picture of this, picture of that. But they don't even, they never believe that they will even announce it at all. They not even believe that people will even go to Finland. The reason why I did not go, I have my ticket. I wanted to go. I didn't know that they will start from, okay, when they is it arrest, how they claim it, took our prime minister. I was like confused. So what will happen? I was waiting for the second, like they said, but suddenly I heard they started doing it yesterday and they declared yesterday. So what they have done now is a milestone. They will tell you they don't like the sit at home in the East. But you can see what the sit at home, how the people putting us down are so afraid of that. Sit at home is a non-violent protest or civil disobedience. We have not killed anybody, but because of the Nigerian system, how they work, okay, make we put trouble for this man head. Since he say na sit at home, we go kill people so that we go say na him.
Adanma, can I ask Revolution one just a second? In reference to this sit at home, just a question, please.
Yes, go on.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk. I'm very much particular at this sit at home. That's my only issue. You see, forget about the killing or whatever. I'm not saying this part they are the one killing everything. I'm in my own opinion. I don't have any data to back up, but I can say they are playing a part to that. But the one I'm more concerned is the economy of the Southeast. How they had been deprived. So it don't. What is how is it not counterproductive? How is that sit at home? Be a protest. Are you protesting to Nigeria? Nigeria don't care about you. You are counterproductive. You are killing yourself economically.
That's
You are
a
not killing
question.
Nigeria. You are not killing
Is that your
Nigeria.
question? Is
Yeah,
that
the
your question?
333 million that is a deprivation of the Southeast. How does that concern Nigeria? It concerns only
Okay.
Southeast. That's my point.
Let me answer your question. If you see, when I started my analysis, I told you, you guys who are against it at home are these middle class Nigerians who 95% of you are part of the system destroying Nigeria. And you are so afraid of your economy being disrupted. So when they tell you sit at home is a civilized way of civil disobedience. Any revolution that succeeded in this world, there is always a civil disobedience. Okay, una say una no go repair Nigeria. Okay, fine. Okay, we too go find a way to do some. If Nigerians have decided, all part of Nigeria decide to sit at home today, these people in power will disappear within a month.
But revolution.
But
Let's
this is
let revolution.
because
Let's make
wait
this.
now. You have solved
Let's
your
make
own.
it a
Let me.
conversational. I'm not
No, no,
against
no,
you.
no. Okay, hold on.
No.
Okay, man of prestige, let him answer you so that if you have any pushback, he can answer. Because we
Okay,
have
no
Yeah.
problem.
Desta here, man of Uncle Jonaba and Uncle
Go
Ike
ahead,
that
revolution.
yes.
You know I respect revolution. Go ahead. I'm sorry, my brother. Go ahead.
Okay. This is what we call peaceful way of resolving a problem. Sit at home. And this sit at home, people are complaining the government is going mad. People like you are going mad because your businesses are being affected. You people don't want change in that country. Just sit at home to push, to let the government rethink. You people are complaining. Can you imagine if there's a sit at home in the whole Nigeria? This government will collapse. But simple idea of the very intelligent people of the Biafra, let us sit at home. Only one day you are complaining. One day in the week. Monday, you people are so angry. And most of the people who are angry are the Igbo.
We lost revolution. Are you there? Okay, I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah. Can I come in just a minute before you come back?
That's fine.
Yeah. So the problem I was having about the narrative, I'm not against what you're saying, the actualization. Tell me how this sit at home. Does it affect Nigeria in general? It only affects the southeast. It only deprive the southeast the economical value of that particular state. The economical value, doesn't transfer to the federal government. That means they don't
Okay.
care about it. It doesn't affect them. And it's not like the whole Nigeria is sitting at home for one day protest. Then it's going to be an effective way of agitation. It's more of counterproductive to your people. The government, they don't care, and the governors too. They don't care. They're benefiting from the federal government. So that's my only issue. This sit at home is a nonsense, in my own opinion. It doesn't
Thank
make
you.
any sense.
Thank you. I will wait for him to come back, then I'll go to Dexter. Then after Dexter, we'll go to Jonaba. Electricity, could you please
Can
put up
I?
the name? Yes.
Oh,
Go ahead
sorry.
if you have something to say. Go ahead.
I just want to. Hold on, let me remove the. Sorry about that.
Yes,
I
I'm back.
just want to
Okay.
play
Okay.
video. Just 1 second, please. It's
I will
short. It's of
conclude only
less than 1 minute.
I will close
Ra-
my argument in 2 minutes so that I don't waste much time.
I'm
can
supporting
you hold
President
on? Yes.
Tinubu because I'm afraid of being tried. It's insulting. He's president of Nigeria.
Not this video. Sorry. I mean, I
Okay, could
quickly
you wait on
remove.
the video? Could you wait on the video, please? Or
Okay.
is it part of what we're discussing?
Yes, it's part of what
Okay,
we're
go ahead.
discussing.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You want me to go ahead or
And
wait
why
for
is
I'm
you?
this thing
supporting
all
President
going? Okay, sorry about this, man. Goodness, man. I don't understand
that
this.
is president of Nigeria.
Come on. Where is this now? Oh no.
Revolution,
Sorry
can you
about
go
this.
ahead and
My
conclude
apologies.
while we're waiting on electricity? Go ahead and conclude. Thank
Okay, I
you.
want to conclude.
Hmm.
What I'm telling my brother and most Igbo people complaining, calling Samuel Ekpa bastard. If you go to Voice of the People in Nigerian radio, all the people complain about Biafra, they are all Igbo men. And when you look at their roots, they are this middle class people where they still under the table, where they still say we don't know them. The sit at home on Monday is affecting them seriously. And they don't have a solution. The solution is let us do something that the government will be affected so that they can change their laws. But when we say this, people will tell you sit at home is costing billions. It's only affecting the rich. The poor Igbos or in the southeast who are suffering, they are happy of the sit at home because there's no equality in that place. Some people are enjoying, some people are not enjoying. The Samuel Ekpa and Kanu, they are fighting for the poor. The poor are
So,
not complaining.
revolution.
Only you
Revolution. Can you
people
tell me
who are
how?
complaining.
Can you tell
No,
me
no,
how
no,
that
no, man of
affects
prestige,
the
man of
Nigerian
prestige,
government?
let him land. Let him land. The more you keep interrupting him, the more he will get to talk more. So let him finish, then you can
He's
push
asking
back.
the same question, elementary question. How is it affecting the federal government? Why are they sending the whole battalions of security people in the Igbo land if it's not affecting them? Answer that question. Why are they every 10 kilometers, every 1 kilometer in the east now is soldiers and police. Why? It's affecting them heavily because they know the powers of the Igbos. So don't tell me there's a civil disobedience going on that is causing the problem of Nigeria. So the only solution to solve this Nigeria, we end with this, is something has to be done to shake these bad people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Revolution. Eccentric has welcome. You just joining us. I'm going to go to you, then I'll go to Dexter.
Do
Go
you
ahead.
want me to play the video now, please?
Go ahead and play the
Yes.
video.
Go ahead, play the video, Electricity.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry for the
Independence of the United States of Biafra, comprising 40 confederating states. On this day, November 29, 2024.
Okay, if that's it, that's enough. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Eccentricast, could you please go ahead? Thank you, sir.
Yeah. What's the topic again?
The question, could you please put up your question? After United States of Biafra, what is next? After their declaration, what is next? Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, we can speculate. So after the Biafra, United States of Biafra, right? All Igbo people in other regions will probably get kicked out because now they belong to a different nation, or they will denounce their allegiance with Biafra to become part of the other nation. It depends. I mean, they can have dual citizenship, right? So Nigerians Igbo people living in Nigeria will, get a passport, and they will be treated like foreigners. Perhaps we might lose our properties. How people might lose their properties, and all the shops in Lagos and whatnot. It won't be a smooth transition. It will not be a fun situation. I mean, it's gonna be chaotic, of course, and I don't think the Declaration of Independence will happen like that without any conflict, unless there's a power that's superpower that's involved that will help mediate the whole process. But yeah, of course, there will be a lot of realignment of things. A lot of Igbo people's investments is in the other part of Nigeria, right? So I don't know how that's gonna work. Like the whole, I don't know how it's gonna work. I mean,
Hold on, Adama. Can I ask Desta something? Because Desta is, eccentric is missing the point. There's no declaration. It's a fallacy. Nothing has happened. You're making it sound like something happened.
Man of prestige, please. Okay, can we? Can we wait? Please wait. Let me say something, please. In as much as is a fallacy to you, we need to respect those that believe in whatever they believe and respect. You don't have to agree with it. So whatever way Revolution wants to, Eccentricast wants to address it, let him address it that way. So to us, it may be a fallacy, but to him, he's addressing it the way he sees it. So let's just learn to leave people. Man of prestige, listen, there are so many questions I have. I just want to know what is next. Thank you, Eccentricast. Go ahead.
Yeah, so also, we'll create states and then have government and then have a structure of government. And then we'll have a constitution, right? I don't know what the constitution will be based on. Because even though Igbo land is it's not necessarily homogenous. I mean, we have the same language, but it wasn't Igbo. The concept of Igbo was just recently created. It's like a pocket of regions, but there's something we have in some similarities that they share, but it's not always. The government is like
it's not centralized system of government. Each community have their own, you know, have their own government structure. I forgot what the title is. And then you have the essays, you have there are other titles. I forgot the name. I forgot their names. So we'll kind of like figure out the type of government to run because the centralized government system might create a problem because every region will want to have leadership, be in the helm. Like let's say Abia State, people from Abia State, even though it's called Abia State, it's still fragmented, right? So someone from Imo State will want to be president, and someone from Anambra. So I believe that will determine the type of government that they will form. But I think they can be experimental with it. They can experiment with other systems that would you know that will fit Igbo people. Um, I mean, it'll be a lot of work. Like you have port systems for importations. We'll create our ports, have airports and whatnot. All this infrastructures would take a while to put in place. So it's not going to be an easy process. If you have a state, there's going to be a lot of investments. You're going to want to attract foreign investments and whatnot. And then, I mean, the land ownership system. How are we going to determine land ownership? Is the state going to have a right to revoke land so they can use it for federal projects? These are the things that they need to consider. Yeah, it will not be an easy thing, but it will require like the intellectuals in Igbo land to come together to come up with debate processes, kind of like how the Greeks did it. Because I mean, it's an emergent society. We haven't had this type of. I'm just saying theoretically, right? Like Biafra, we have Biafra right now, so we haven't had something like that. So we need to create, come up with all the intellectuals to come together to work out something, and it would take a while, probably take months or years to come up with a consensus on how
Mhm.
things will be done, how resources will
Thank
be
you.
shared, and everything.
I have a question.
may I jump in,
Okay,
please?
okay. Hold on.
Since I'm being
Okay,
marginalized here.
okay, hold on. Tope asked the question, then electricity, you
Okay,
can. Go
all
ahead.
right.
Tope,
I
go
want
ahead.
eccentric as I have a question. Earlier on, you had kind of giving me the impression that Biafra is an Igbo thing. All along, I've been told anytime I ask that is this Biafra movement is looking like an Igbo thing. And I remember I asked that question when Simon Ekpa came to the platform. And the response I got was everyone is a Biafran. If if you don't like what's happening in Nigeria, you can actually be a Biafran. But with what I'm seeing right now, I'm Yoruba, so it means like if I really want Biafra, because I feel like I'm Biafran at heart, that means there's no place for me. But from what you just confirmed it earlier on, when you practically said the Igbo people, when you referred to Biafrans as Igbo people, so it is an Igbo thing. That's basically what it is. So there's no place for someone like me there.
Can you guys roll the conversation
Okay,
before
okay,
person
okay.
starts?
Okay, Tope. Uncle Janaba, what was your question again, sir?
No, I want to know who's the next. We're just
I
waiting.
Yes,
think I'll be
electricity, you're
next.
next. Go ahead. Electricity, go ahead.
I
Yes,
can answer the question though. Hold on.
I think
Okay, go ahead.
So,
Hold on a second. Let electricity speak, then you can answer the question.
okay.
uh, this declaration was made in Finland, not in Nigeria. This is to you eccentric and all those. That's why I asked the question, what next? This declaration was not made in Nigeria, was made in Finland. And the government is in Finland, not in Nigeria. There is no Biafra flag flying all over Nigeria or even in all the parts of the 40 states of the Biafra that they are talking about. And that is why I am with Man of Prestige as to the illusion, as to this illusion that's been created. If indeed you want to declare, or Simon Ekpa wants to declare the Biafra state, it should be done on the soil of the Biafra state, not in a foreign land. Let's get the picture clear here. That's why I asked, what next? Which government, eccentrically, where do they want to form this government? In the Biafra
I don't know
state?
why you guys, excuse me, I don't know why you're directing the question to eccentric cast.
Okay,
Dan here
sorry.
is a member. Dan is a
Okay, sorry.
The revolution is a
Sorry.
member. So I don't know why you guys are
Okay.
directing that question to
Okay. Let me make my
eccentric
opinion.
cast.
Let me give my
Yes.
opinion. So let me give my opinion. Eccentric, my apologies. Okay. This is me saying now that the declaration of Biafra was done in Finland. Those people you see on the video, they are celebrating in Finland. Nothing in Nigeria. If you can show me where the celebration, the flags flying in all these 40 states that have been mentioned, the United States of Biafra, then we will know they are being serious, because such act is a treasonable offense. So they can't do it in Nigeria. So it has no bearing, it has no validity. Listen, I'm not saying people should not fight. I'm not against agitation or whatever word. I'm not against it. If you're gonna do it, go to Nigeria and do it, and stop bamboozling people. That is my position. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Can I interject,
Electricity.
Adama?
Oh, no, hold on. We have people here that haven't spoke. So, eccentric cast, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to answer Tope's question. Then, man of prestige, 1 minute, please. Eccentric cast, could you go ahead? One man of prestige, 1 minute, please.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
we're speaking in prognosis, right?
Okay.
We don't. No one is under the illusion that there's Biafra. The Biafra has been declared. Anyway, so I've asked this question, like, how will citizenship be determined, right? In countries like, if you create a country like Biafra, right, that would be a very hard question, because citizenship will be determined by, of course, by being an Igbo person. And if you're non-Igbo, right, you are basically like a minority. You will probably attach yourself with a certain region. I mean, a certain part of Igbo land, in terms of voting and ideology, right? There'll of course be different ideologies there that you can align yourself with, but in terms of sharing power, it will be it won't be based on merit. Like, people always talk about merit. The meritocracy is what's lacking in Nigeria. Like, if you have an Igbo, if you have Biafra right now, for instance, you're not going to have that type of meritocracy. Someone from Yoruba land who's Yoruba would not obtain.
You have 50 seconds, so could you round up?
Okay, so we're speaking in prognosis, right? Personally, countries like Biafra should not. A country like that should not exist. A monolithic society like a country like that shouldn't exist, where citizenship is determined by, let's say, religion or your tribal affiliation. It should not exist. We are moving to a new world, a new system, where we are moving away from our family tribes and whatnot, and then we emerging with other people. The world is coming together. So we should be creating societies that reflect more of the current world than the old world, where everything is based on tribe. So
Thank you.
So that's that.
Thank you so much. Man of prestige, 1 minute.
Okay,
Go
thank you
ahead.
very much. Yeah, essentially, when he was speaking earlier, I think he wasn't really answering the question. That's why I interjected. I didn't know he was speaking on prognosis, point of view, because the question is that now that they have declared Biafra in Finland, what next? So essentially, maybe he misunderstood the question. He wasn't really answering it. He was coming on a theory. Let's assume Biafra is just a Biafra. Then that's when eccentric come in and say maybe this. But he wasn't really answering the question. So that's why I interjected. But having said that, Tope, like they said, if that actually happen, he can move to southeast, and be part of, the southeast. It doesn't mean if you don't speak the language, we speak English, so we can conversate with you. I speak a little bit of Yoruba, so it doesn't matter. But having said that, the point I'm trying to make, you have this 0.00009. I don't even know how many zero to put in it. That
Okay.
that went to Finland and declare some renegade. That's what I call them, and declare Biafra. That don't have
Thank
any
you.
validity. Nobody. I mean, tell me, is it recognized in the United Nations? So that's why I saw this is nonsense.
Thank you.
It doesn't even make any sense. They're all
Thank you.
renegades, you know. Thank you.
Thank you,
Please,
sir.
I have only 1 minute. If you give me, I will go, please. I want
Okay,
to
go
tell
ahead.
them
One minute revolution. Yeah, go ahead. Round it up.
yes,
1
that
minute, please.
question Mr. Andrew asked us, electricity, what is next? I just want to give them that elementary primary school teaching they used to teach us. A journey of 1 million miles begins with a step. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Locopi, welcome to the channel. Could you please unmute your nest, sir? Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, what was the topic? Everybody, how you doing? Happy weekend. Forgive me, please. What was the topic, please? No, because I think
You are
what
now a
you guys are
Biafra. You are now a Biafra. Defend yourself.
at that way. No, okay. Sorry, what's the topic now? Adama, help me now. Come on. What you doing now? Sure.
I said United States of Biafra. After United States of Biafra, what is next? Electricity, could you please highlight the topic? Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Andrew, talk now. Sure.
No, go ahead. Locopi, he just highlighted it. So go ahead.
Okay.
It's your time to
I see.
talk.
What
Yes, sir.
happens after the declaration of United States of now you know USB. Now flash drive this one USB. All right. Assuming if, right, hypothetically, like if, what happens next? I mean, life goes on now because the thing is like for it to come to fruition, majority have to, 70, 80% have to think maybe, yeah, let's say minimum 80%. Because if 70%, there's still going to be a problem. 80% have to be like mind, you understand? Have to be the same boat for there not to be chaos after whatever form of declaration, you understand? Because certainly too many people will still be aggrieved, especially people from the um non eastern states, southeastern states, you understand? Especially most from there. In fact, we're still going to get large population from within the 5 eastern states that will not agree to this. So, like I said, there'll still be lots of agitation, lots of chaos, fight, unrest, disturbing the peace of that, so-called Biafra, for it not to continue. Because I'll tell you this for free, yeah. I've lived, okay, I won't say I've lived, but in terms of job, you understand, I've worked there in the southeast, I've worked in the southwest, and now, my fear is this: if it happens, you understand, you see this major ethnic group, so oppressing the southeast, and because they feel two major group is working together to marginalize the southeastern people, you understand. I think it's going to be worse. Trust me. Nobody may agree here. You understand? But when it happens, majority of that, entity right now called Biafra, which is the southeastern people, I know for sure we definitely oppress all the minorities not to have their say. You understand? We definitely because first thing first, it will be as if it's an Igbo thing first. Secondly, the major tribe speaking there is just one, not like we have three. Okay, maybe it can be this, can be this, can be that, but now it's just one tribe. You understand? And this idea of togetherness that we don't have in Nigeria will still be a problem, because if they decide to force everybody to speak their own language, you understand, and or abide by whatever culture they want to bring, and all other minority tribe, which that togetherness is not part of, you understand, we will end up not even coming together to oppose the major tribe of this enclave or entity, and will still be fighting themselves for their own independence or superiority, or independence, stay, you understand. So the next thing that I think will happen, which is what next, is going to be chaos, unrest, violence, agitation from within the same bracket, because definitely many people would not even agree. And trust me, what we are thinking, we are seeing right now, because I've been following many of different channels of this Biafra, whatever. You start starting from Namikanu. I follow them. They're like this, whatever, Pastor Van, whatever I call himself. I see what they do. I see even when sometimes they make presentations online, I see that watch videos. I was like, I just laugh. You understand? Everything you think they are doing, everything is centered around Southeast, nothing else. But when it comes to like, oh, we want to break out, we need numbers, that is the only time they are thinking of other tribes, other regions to take along. But when it comes to plan, like, okay, where is this, where is that, how is this, how is it going to be, what is going to be, everything is centered around Southeastern states. I've seen videos separately. So my fear when I look at people like, oh, okay, not that it's not good. And I don't blame them. It's just the advent of the stupid leaders we have in Nigeria at the moment. You understand? But when I look at the outcome of what it's going to be like more people will be still marginalized because of this plan that they have, because all the plan they have is centered around the South. Like I said, I've seen maps, videos, I've seen structures, plans when it comes to accommodation, accommodation, buildings, where is this going to be sited, where is going to be sited. I've seen many centered around the Southeast, not even taking consideration of other regions that are claiming or they want to go with them or to be with them. You understand? So my fear is whenever this happens, trust me, you see that marginalization that they're crying about, other region will suffer it. Because I don't want to call this idea of like a minority, because on a very good day, when it comes to history, some tribe gave birth to some tribe. We should not run from that. Some tribes in present day Nigeria gave birth to some other tribe in Nigeria, which terms of banishment, migration, and what have you. But you just bless everybody equal. No problem. It is what it is, no problem. But nobody should take advantage because you think you have the numbers, because you just want born, you come plenty. They do not think, okay, no problem. No, it's not done that way. And don't forget, even this country we call Nigeria, there are people who started it, but today they are called minority because they don't speak out, because they just like, don't worry, we want the best. We don't want to fight anybody. Nobody wants to fight anybody. There are people who thought the idea, who bettered that idea first, even before the likes of whoever became the first premier or first head of state of Nigeria. You understand? But still, nobody wants to carry everybody along. You also want to see yourself as, no, we are. It's all about me. You don't want to do anything about us, putting us into consideration. Everything is just about me, man. You understand? You cry foul every time. Like, okay, that man is also crying. No, I think I have to cry for my brother too. If you think he wants to be, you want him to be a part of you, cry their cry, because they're also crying your cry. That's why they're not thinking of departing from you. They think they want to be with you so we can cry this cry together and fight this fight together. But you are crying just your cry. You think you're the only one that is suffering. So trust me, in as much as, yes, the Nigerian system has failed everybody, I think we should all summon the courage to like, look, this demon is within. It's not far-fetched. This demon is within. You understand? We just too greedy. We're waiting for our turn to also eat too. That's why we're
Yes,
not even
sir.
complaining. You understand?
Yes,
We
sir.
are almost as 40 as our leaders, because we just sit back and do nothing because we just don't want inconvenience. We just have some certain amount of money that is so comfortable for us that, man, God, I don't want to convince myself, Jare, because the Nigeria matter, I beg. But that same thing, I beg, I don't want to convince myself, has what has been in our heart for so long that we've kept quiet now. It can't they swallow us now to our face. Now we call it cry foul. So we should be careful whatever we are saying,
Thank
not
you.
to think like that road is the only road. What if?
Thank
What
you,
if?
sir.
Okay, hold on. What if? Just chill for a little bit. What if? Like they said, togetherness is strength. So that's just what I want to say,
Thank you.
Shah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lokopi. To Niger, could you please unmute your nest, sir? You just came in to join us. Thank you. Then I'll go to Dexter after to Niger. To Niger, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This in Adama, and thank you for hosting the show. And I think Tope, I see you there too, and electricity. And greetings to the panelists, the chat, and to the viewers. We've lost Calabar, we've lost River State. I don't know, they did take Delta too. You see, when they declare these things, they just take annex other areas. What in a way, they are a kind of admitting that Biafra without the South its viability is in question by doing that. And from there henceforth, it's already lost because, like I said, for somebody that grew up in that region, I know the dynamics that goes on there, and I find that very frustrating. That's why I'm often a little bit all over the place when I'm having this conversation, because that region has more population than the Southwest. Do you know that the South and the Southeast have altogether, they have quite a lot more population than the Southwest, including if you include Lagos and all the rest. But the reason why the power when it comes to the South doesn't go to that region is because of this disorganized. They are just so disorganized. And what they have managed to do now is even create more fissure between both sides. Now, the other groups, Ogoni or Kreka, all of them will be looking at the moment with a side eye. For what purpose? To what end? To a state you know full well that it's not going to be viable. You know, if you give these people a vote, they will vote to go their own way. They think River State will, and all the joy people want to go with other people to come and take their oil. They are greedy for oil too now. They want their oil then. The moment they get the opportunity to be free, they will take it. Because why would they want to throw outside with then take on another group to control their oil? That's not going to happen. So they are not going to trust anybody to say, okay, let's agree that we are going to keep our oil, and later on you could change your mind. No, they will never agree. They will never trust any other people, because they did try to break out of Nigeria. They were the first to try to break out of Nigeria, and they didn't succeed. And the same thing the Southeast tried to do. They didn't succeed. Instead of both sides to make up their mind that, you know what, let's cooperate here. And this is, I find that really strange that other Southeastern elders are not calling these people to order that do these things. It's like, if you truly want Biafra, why would you want to alienate the people that might enable you to get it? I don't know. It all doesn't make sense.
Who are those people to Nigeria? Who are the people that they are eliminating? That are trying
the South people, the Jaws, the Calabars, the Ethics, all those people, they are alienating them.
So those ones how are they alienating them? I thought they were bringing them in. But what I was just thinking while you were talking a few seconds ago, what went through my mind was, even if you end up getting Biafra, I'm thinking the Ibibios, the Ethics, the Queries and Co will end up being marginalized, will end up being the minorities in Biafra.
That is true, given the context we have now. That's my point. The way they are approaching it is all wrong. They should have learned the lesson from the 60s by now and say, you know what, if we truly want this, we know full well that Biafra without the South is not very viable. So your job is to build fences, establish relationships, very good ones, strong ones. And maybe even by doing that, the political power that is driving you out of Nigeria, you acquire it by default. But when you go out and do this type of stuff, knowing full well the vast majority of the population of that region are not for it, you are alienating them and even creating more problem for innocent these Igbo people that are doing business and living their lives in the South. And if you look at it from the point of view, even the Southeast themselves, nobody has taken their poll. How many of them, do you know how many of them that will support it and the other ones that will not support it? We don't know. Nobody's asking them. You just go to Finland and go and declare something and expect people to just follow it. That's not how it works. If you want to carry out the movement in a peaceful way, which they did in Finland, if you want to do it, you can do it in Nigeria. Technically, there's no reason why you can't do it peacefully in Nigeria. I don't understand it. They're able to do it peacefully in Finland. But in Nigeria, they are threatening brimstone and all kinds of stuff, threatening brimstone. I don't think if you were organizing such a thing in the context of Nigeria peacefully, they will just take it as a joke and ignore you. because you've not harmed anybody, you've not threatened anybody.
No, they'll carry them tonight. I don't say that. They'll carry them.
I don't think so. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of people abuse Nigeria like crazy, calling Nigeria a zoo and all the rest. If you say you want to declare Nigeria another state in Nigeria, you're not creating money. You're not really doing anything. They will call you. They might call you in to question you, but what are they going to do? You have not done anything really. You just claim something. Yeah, I can go to Nigeria and say I'm president of Nigeria. Are you going to jail me for that? Yeah, they might call me in, but you're not going to jail me for making a claim because I don't have any means of making it happen. So I don't think they would have been marginalized or really treated badly if they were in Nigeria doing this. I thought they're having sit at home all the time. How many people
They might not be
been
marginalized,
arrested
but
for that?
sometimes some dickheads, military personnel might just want to give some stupid order to like, hey, my friend, go and dislodge everybody, go and this and that. And all those Kurofo boys now, where they are not correct, they might also go there and start beating people before you know, not sure they just shoot somebody before you know this and that.
There is
Hold
some
on 1
truth
second.
there.
No?
Sorry.
So,
Fafada, have you finished?
No.
Okay, I'll give you 1 more minute, please.
Thank you. So there's some truth there that it could go wrong, but even if it goes wrong, I think we shouldn't always lose focus on the greater goal. If you want, like Martin Luther King, you think they didn't use dogs to chase him and all the rest of it. You have to. I just feel like sometimes our people don't have long range vision. They always go short range all the time. I don't know whether it is our people in general or they are just these elements that are empowered to make us seem like we don't have long range vision. Because personally, I like to think that I do, and a lot of people that I speak to do. Electricity to an extent does. So why is it that these are the ones that seem to try to represent us with such short-sighted view? They can't even see the people next door to them, not to mention project into the future of what Biafra will represent in the world. So that's how I will leave it. I would just say that it's a bad idea, but I do enjoy seeing our people work together. Like I said earlier on, it was a sight to behold. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dexter, you're next on the, if you're there, Dexter. Okay, I don't see
Yeah,
Dexter.
I'm here.
So, remember the question.
Yeah, the whole stuff that happened, shebang that happened in Finland. What I'll say is this.
Sorry, Dexter. Let me stop. You still have the floor. I know Eccentrica is still here. I think he's gone. He was talking about, okay, he's still there. He was talking about this grammar he used. What is happening or what happened is not a fantasy or a fiction story. What happened in Finland is real. But why I ask the question, what happened next, is this thing happened in Finland. They declare a government, the United States of Biafra. Why in Finland? Why not in Nigeria, where they actually want the change, where their presence is required? That is, I think we should treat this as a serious matter because it's going to break a lot of people's heart if this turns out to be a scam. That's how the floor is yours. Thank you. Tessa, the floor is back to you, please.
All right. Well, what I'm going to say is the whole idea of what's happened in Finland. I don't think people should just wave it wave it under the carpet, because one of the biggest problems people have is that the Biafra narrative is actually an idea that is living on. You understand? And as long as there's oppression, as long as Nigeria is not giving dividends, it's not giving people citizenship, according to Dele Farotimi, there are no citizens in Nigeria. As long as Nigeria does not respect and recognize the citizens, and the people living there don't actually have citizenship, then the whole ideology and narrative of Biafra will never die. That's the truth. And the more the bourgeois in Nigeria keep holding the country down, the more the narrative will grow. Now, whether these people are outside the country. Somebody will say, oh, let them go inside the country. No, they don't have to go in there to keep the idea burning. You know, that's what they want. What they want is they want to send a statement. And look at the way these things work. Whether you like it or not, the Western world gravitates towards the people that are weak. The Western world gravitates towards the people that are perceived to be weak. Now, they've done this thing in Finland. Whether you like it or not, you will find out that there will be some sympathy. They are telling their story. By the time they start telling these stories to the Western world, it will drive a narrative. Now, we talk about apartheid that happened in South Africa. You might say, oh, but it was between whites and what do you call it? It was between whites and blacks. Oh, because the color of the skins were different. But does that mean that when the actions are the same, the color of the skins are the same, it is not apartheid? And the fight against apartheid was done from abroad. That was when the fight started. So my own is, look, the Nigerian state has to sit up. And there's something that people should stop driving, all these fear-mongering narratives. I've said it, stop driving it. The more you push the fear-mongering narratives, oh, what do they have? Who is this? You will find out that, like, what happened in America, you find out there will be more people on their side. There will be more people on their side. That is the truth. And if you study, I was listening to somebody, and the person said something very strategic. If you study, you need to study world history. The person said, look, the moment the Queen of England died, the Queen of England was like the last monarch before the order of the world changed, before America became the world power. She was like the last monarch. She was like the one that had, like, she had control. You know, she was like that big leader. The moment she died, the guy said, look, every power block is going to start jostling. There is going to be a jostle for power everywhere. And whether you like it or not, the jostle for power is going on now. And sometimes the jostle for power can take 20 years, 15 years before things will settle. Let me give you an example.
Sorry, Dexter. Sorry, please. Please reiterate again. You said Elizabeth was the last monarch before America was formed. Sorry.
Before America became the world recognized
I
world
will
power.
appreciate non-interjection.
I don't understand. I know we need to ask for clarity. I see
I'm not saying you will not ask for clarity. Just wait for your time, please, if you don't mind.
I'm asking for clarity now.
You will ask for clarity, please.
Sorry? He said something. I didn't get it. I didn't catch it. I said, okay, please, let me hear you well.
I'm not saying you're not going to ask for clarity. That's not the point I'm making. I'm just saying wait for your time, then you can ask for clarity. Is that okay? Please.
You're moderating.
Thank you.
So my point there is that sometimes the jostle for power can take more than 10 years, can take 20 years. It doesn't just happen. I know sometimes when we are discussing here, I'm just thinking it's going to happen overnight. It doesn't happen. Look, if the Nigerian state is more strategic in its thinking and starts rethinking, look at what's happening in Burkina Faso. Look at what's happening in Chad. There is a reshuffling in the world. Whether we like it or not, it is happening in our very eyes. And if we keep on judge this situation based on just yesterday and how we think that, oh, yesterday we won, we crushed them, then we're going to crush them again, it doesn't work that way. There is a reshuffle in the world. And the earlier the Nigerian state starts realizing it and putting its acts together and fixing its house, the better for it. If not, you see this thing these guys have done there, it will send a message. The world is watching. Even the countries of the world, even countries in Africa are watching. And the first thing Nigerian state must do is, look, go and read history of countries that have come back together and united as, there used to be East Germany and West Germany. Look, if Nigeria doesn't do the right thing, whether you like it or not, this small act is just like a spark. It can snowball. And this idea of always trying to wash it down, of, oh, who are the people that are going to be there? Who's going to be there? Those arguments are not important now. I will tell you the truth. Those are not the arguments on ground. What should be on ground right now is what the Nigerian government is doing to answer the questions and to do what is normally done afterwards now.
Thank you, Lester. Lokopi, you said you want to ask him to clarify something. Go ahead and ask for your clarification, please.
Where you usually for oblivion? I've asked him already now. He has clearly already now. Where you there?
No, I stopped you. So if you've asked
You
him,
just stopped me.
this time
He
did you
said
get
this.
the clarification
No,
this
he
time?
has cleared it already. Don't worry. Go move to the
All
next
right,
person.
thank you very much.
No, wait, no, thank you.
Jonaba, eccentric, are you there?
Yes.
Eccentric?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here.
Here.
Okay, Jonaba, thank you. The floor is yours. What next after this declaration of Biafra, in your opinion?
I actually do not go to uh, the forefather show and radio show because of this Biafra thing. It is sensitive to me, not because I think I don't know that it's calm, but then it's hard to believe that the same reason why you think you are living in Nigeria or you have a representative in Finland that is declaring Nigeria, that you are marginalized. And according to the number, it's about 50 million people have voted. The last time I checked, the whole Igbo Nigerian space is less than 40 million. But the surprising thing is that the fear and the concern other people
Jonaba, I think
always
you need.
have about the perception, the way the Igbo people look at them, the way Igbo people talk about them, it becoming clearer that in the space within Nigeria, the good news is that the Igbo elite and the well-informed Igbo, they know that this is delusional. They know that. But they are amazed that in as much as it is, that so many or few educated among them buy to this narrative that this is not the right way. They may also want other things to be done within the eastern state, but this is not the right way. But they are shocked about seeing people think it's a reality or the things that will come to be. They are also shocked among the Igbos, and everybody is just watching to see that what is going on. Is it real life? How did they going to come to within the eastern state and exist as a Biafran? Is that the best way of going around it? Is that the way country live? If that is the way country live other country, I don't think any country will exist. So I think it's about time that some of you distance yourself, not because you don't love or you are not a Biafran. You just know that this is not the best way. It's like somebody telling you now is selling Varazona Bridge in New York. Somebody will tell you, say, I'm buying it. I'm the owner of it. And you believe it, even when you know it's not a reality. So I think all our differences within the Nigerian space, as young generation, we are trying to find a better way. We should find a common ground how to do something in the right way. You cannot be doing something in the wrong way, accusing the other people of doing it in the wrong way, while your own is even worse. So I don't even want to get involved in it. It's just it's too childish to talk about. But thank you for the opportunity. I want to stop here.
Thank you, Uncle Janaba. I'm going to go to Mr. Ike. Mr. Ike, Uncle Ike, are you there? Uncle,
Yes.
yes, you're next, sir. Your final submission in regards to this the Declaration of United States of Biafra. What is next? What is your opinion, sir?
Yeah. I think in the first program I did make my submission concerning the issue of Biafra, but the only thing I need to say here is it was declared in Finland. For me, let us watch and see what happens. That's what I see, but I think that um, Nigeria, if Nigeria is working for everybody, I don't think that it's going to be agitation anywhere. People do agitate in their house. I gave an example today, even in my house here with my wife. Everybody has the agitation in the house. But the point is that after agitation, how did we settle the whatever that is agitating anybody so that we can move on? Because the most important thing is that for you to recognize and realize your errors and mistakes and accept them before the person you're agitating before in front of the person. And, forgiveness, become genuinely forgiven and life goes on. So I think this is what it is. The Southeast has suffered deprivation from the federal government of Nigeria for a very long time, and it is a fact. It doesn't matter what anybody want to tell me. I don't want to talk about Biafra. I just want to talk about facts about Nigeria. Because if the so-called reconciliation Nigeria promised after the Civil War, if we have been honest with it, I don't think there should be people agitating for anything. But it has never been honest. It has only been cosmetic and lip services that is being done. Or probably they will use some Igbo saboteurs as if they use them to say they're doing something for the people of the Southeast. Today, even when you ask them, they will tell you, I don't think Hope Uzodinma is speaking for any Johnny Igbo man. Neither Okorocha is speaking for any Johnny Igbo man or Jews or Kano, but they are the people that the so-called federal government of Nigeria use as the Igbo people speaking for the Igbos. These people don't speak for anybody. They don't speak for even their village. But that is what it is. So I think that whatever declaration that was made, I think all we need to do is to watch and see what happens, because being in Finland to declare Republic of Biafra and being a prime minister and Nnamdi Kanu is in prison, I don't see how it works. And I believe in Nnamdi Kanu. I don't believe in Samuel Ekpa. I don't care what he's doing. I just believe what Nnamdi Kanu represent. And I think that if Nigerian government is sincere, based on the court that has set this young man free, I don't know why they're still holding him. And in the presence of that, you want to tell people you're talking about one Nigeria, when other people who are agitating the same thing in Nigeria, they are walking free in Nigeria. Sunday Boho went to London about 3 weeks ago, 1 month ago, to go and submit his referendum of Oduduwa to British government or wherever. And the people of Hariwa, they are walking free. There are so many people that is agitating in Nigeria. Why is it that the case of Nnamdi Kanu is different? He was a rendition from Kenya. And since he came back, the court has said, you leave this young man to go, you owe nothing, you owe him nothing. But still they're keeping him. So where is the one Nigeria? Where is the sincerity? So that's the problem. People should just be honest to themselves. We shouldn't be pretending everything is well in Nigeria. We cannot be pretending we don't see what is going on in Nigeria. If this man is released based on what the law said, I don't think we'll be sitting here talking about Biafra or no Biafra, right? He is against, the Kanu himself is against sit at home. You cannot be killing the same people that they are saying you want to protect. He has, even from the prison, whenever he appears in court, he has always spoken his mind against what is going on in Southeast. That is not what his mission is. That is not what his vision is. That is not what his programs and plans is. So for me, I just believe that Nigerian for me, sorry, I don't even believe in we don't have any government in Nigeria, so I don't even want to talk about it. Thank you, my sister. I just don't want.
Thank you so much, Uncle Ike. Now we are going to go on our next topic, which is the question I want to ask everyone here is, you know how we have this African tradition where we never like to talk about death, and given that today's segment was about life and death, so I wanted to ask this question: where will you want to be? What do you want to be buried? Like, you know how people when they die and they say, some people say, take me back home to bury me. So I'd like for us to have that conversation. Electricity, could you please highlight it? So forefather, up to I'm going to come with you first. Forefather, where will you like to be buried? Do you believe leave in taking your body back home, or you want to be buried where you live? Forefather, can you hear me? Jack, can you hear me?
Not there.
Tulaja, can you hear me?
Next person.
Oh, next person. Thank you. All right, talk about your next. Where do you want to be buried? And what is your position on that question?
My candid opinion is I'd rather be where it will be more accessible for my child. I want my child to be able to have access and easy access to visit my graveside. She's here, she's born here. I don't really think Nigeria will be a realistic place for me. My husband and I had that conversation in the past. He actually has a chamber back home in Ibadan for him and for myself to be buried. But and I'm looking at it, if I still have a toddler. If anything happens to me now, I really don't think it'll be realistic to take me home. But again, someone mentioned it earlier on that I think it was Righteous Man that said it, that whoever is gone is gone. You really don't know what has happened to you. It's the people you leave behind that call the shots. But my wish would be, you know, to be where it will be accessible for my child. I don't think it'll be realistic for me to one Nigeria. That means she won't have easy access. I don't even think she'll be able to. She'll want to even go to Nigeria. That's
And how about like where do you think your husband would like to be buried? Like
we
if I
had
were
the we had the conversation at the earlier in the marriage. I always knew his stance, uh,
mm-hmm.
that he wants to be taken back home to Ibadan. That has always been his wish, and he has always told me. And I actually I have seen the place where he claims that's where he'll end up being, and he actually has like two chambers there, and said, so who's going to be the second? He said, you. So he has already two chambers for himself and myself.
So what
But
are you calling chamber? Are you calling the burial slot?
yes, yeah, the
Yeah,
slot.
the chamber, yes, now. As in the
Yeah,
graveside. As
okay.
in
Yes,
the,
it will be in the compound.
Oh,
That's his wish. But since I had my daughter, I've been trying to backtrack and have that conversation again. That can you see how life is? Or do you think it will be realistic with this
me understand. When you say
children
toddler,
at
sorry,
this point?
when you say toddler, when she grow old,
Huh?
why you are still alive?
Pardon?
You say toddler. When she grow old, why you are still alive?
But anything can happen at any point in time. Nobody you can. You
But
are only reassured tonight. Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. Is what I'm saying. If anything
sorry,
happens
if you have all the money, sorry, let me ask one question. Don't be angry, please. Everybody, just your folks. If you don't wish to answer, don't answer. Your folks, are they still alive?
my mom is.
Okay. If you have your way, maybe money or whatever, if anything happens to her tomorrow, will you, fly over abroad to have her buried in America?
That's my mom. That's the
Mm.
conversation we're having with Hannah. In fact, we had that conversation. We talked about it last week, I'm here with her and I came visiting. Now we've been having that conversation on weekly basis because my mom is 85 and she's here in America with us, and she's always initially she was like she always said she wanted Nigeria, and we told her that if you really want Nigeria and anything should happen to you right now, this America, I hope you have the money, because there's no way we're going to cough down like over $20,000 and take your body home.
So don't you think with her age and experience, like probably she knows what she's talking about?
But but we also have to be realistic. Why will I have to cough down $20,000 or $30,000 to take her body home?
If she was in Nigeria and it happened, would you
Yes, if
bring
she's in
her over?
Nigeria, there's even we have our village. I'm from Shagamu, but we're born and raised in Lagos. My dad was buried in Shagamu. She's insisting at a point she wanted us to take her back.
And if you want to come on solo, yeah.
Adanma, mute solo, mute please.
At a point, she wanted to go back home to Shagamu. We had that conversation because that's where my dad is. She said she wanted that, but over the years, she backtracked and said no, she wants to go back to Lagos. She feels Lagos is safer with her body. That she's a bit superstitious that they could dig up her and steal her body in the village and use her body for jazz. So she said no, that she believes Lagos, a burial ground in Lagos, the cemetery will be safer in Lagos. But by the time we've had uncles, aunties, and her friends have passed on in the last 1 year. One of our best friends just passed on, like I think a month ago. And by the time we started hearing
tell him to talk. I'm coming. I'm
price,
still here. I'll come downstairs now.
Adama. So by the time
about that, sorry.
By the time we heard of the cost of a private cemetery in Lagos going for 30-something million, 40-something million as at today, she said, she's been paying her tithes in the village, that she has surrendered now, that we should bury her on top of her husband. So that's where we're at.
I tell you,
because it's cheaper at that point.
So
did I answer your question, Lukopi?
Yeah. Was why I asked you the question was because you're saying your daughter coming over to see. Because sometimes I think when it comes to blood and sometimes I think it's a cultural thing. If you train her in a way that no matter where you are.
I'm going to give you your own time now. So you want to talk?
He's asking me a question.
No, you can answer the question now.
Also, people. Sorry?
No, I say you can answer the question and then you can have your own time. Then answer the question that I asked. Where will you, Lokopi, want to be buried?
Next question, please. Next person, please.
You don't want to have that conversation.
Sorry?
You asked me that question.
No, I didn't ask you because where I was concerned is when you said because of your daughter, this and that. So I want to in things like that, it depends on how you train your daughter, right? No matter where you think you will be, it's a stone throw from her. Do you get my points?
But I'm in America.
That's what I'm saying. Even if anything by venture say you want to go there,
I'm also being realistic. Will it be fair for her to go all the way to be going to Nigeria because she wants to see me once in maybe 5 years? My dad has been gone for 20 years, and I have half siblings. I can't count how many times, or rather, I can count how many times people have gone to his graveside. But when it's time for sharing,
and Congo.
Will or beneficiary or whatever, they are quick to send their updated bank accounts.
Okay,
but they don't.
Thank you for. Go ahead. Could you sum up? So, could you round up? Then I can go to the next person. Go ahead. Thank you. So, man of prestige, the question is, where will you like to be buried? And have you made arrangements regarding that?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, mine has already been enumerated. Me and my wife, that has been discussed. We have been going up and down. A few years ago, what whether that's important, but in recent time or recent years, we have made a decision that we're going to retire in Nigeria. So, whatever business we're doing here, we're going to leave it for our children. But having said that, the question is that where would I want to be buried? Oh, that's obvious. It's already my way. And I've already have some insurance about in terms of the monetary part of it, taking me back to Nigeria. Right, I'm going to be buried in Nigeria. And like Tope was saying, I think I understand Tope, point of view. I mean the daughter or whatever, I don't know what she had. Is born here. Is still a toddler, so that's a long way to go. But my kids, they are very good. They go to Nigeria quite often. We'll be going to Nigeria during this Christmas, so they go. They go like once or twice a year. Sometimes they go without us. They go and stay with their grandpa and their grandma in Nigeria. So they are very, very good when it comes to Nigeria. They even speak more Igbo than I do. So let me just state that. So that
Exactly.
won't
So
be a
that
problem of going back to Nigeria to see to see my grave or that kind of stuff. Yeah, that arrangement has been made. In a nutshell, I'm gonna be buried in Nigeria. That's if I'm here now. Like I said, I'm gonna be retired in Nigeria. But if it happen, because nobody knows tomorrow, it can happen tomorrow. My coffin will be taken back to Nigeria. Me and my wife. It's the same thing.
Thank you so much, sir. Dexter, the question is, where will you like to be buried? And why we ask this question is a lot of times couples do not tell each other where they want to be buried. A lot of people will say they want to be buried back home, but in order for you to be buried back home, you need some finances involved to carry your corpse back home. So that's why it is important as spouse, whatever situationship you have, even as girlfriend, boyfriend, engaged to one another, we need to have that conversation of where we would like to be buried. So, Dexter, what is your opinion? Dexter, are you there? Nah. Eccentric, I'll go to you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So I'm an uh, organ donor. So if there's an accident, of course, my organ would be donated to someone else. In terms of burial, I would like to be cremated. I think cremation is cheaper and it doesn't have a lot of cost, behind it, like extra ceremonies and all that. I like to be cremated because I want to make it easy on my children, right? And it doesn't matter where I'm cremated in, United States of America, Nigeria, anywhere. But I think it will make financial sense to be buried like here if you live in America or if you live in the UK or anywhere in Europe to be buried where you are because ferrying your body back home will cost a lot of money. I mean, unless you have something in your will, or life insurance that will cover all the cost. But I think I'll just take it easy. Cremation, will be the route for me. So that's that. Yeah.
Thank you. Man of prestigious answer.
Yeah,
And I'm
Adama,
going to
sorry.
come.
Just sorry. Madam Luke says she's at work. She left a message on the private chat. If you
Okay.
can give her
Madam
five
Luke, you're
minutes.
next. I'm sorry. Thank you. Madam Luke.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Hello. Wonderful panelists. We meet
How you
again.
doing, Mama? Thanks for coming in.
Wonderful. Because I'm a weekend slave at work. So sometimes I just have to sneak in. But anyhow, beautiful conversations tonight, starting with the where you who takes care of your family after death. And we have already trashed that out. As far as I'm concerned, I have two families, my nuclear family and my extended family that involves my brothers and sisters. So what we usually do, we have a Zoom legal session where the lawyers come in and everything is captured on video. We don't want any stories. So everybody says what they want, and the wives and the husbands are participants. So there is no question as to what happens. So we have a legal document and we have a Zoom video conference for the records, and everybody has a copy. So that takes care of that. So for example, me and my husband or my brothers and his wives, they already know what we want and who gets what and what is doing what. So it's not like my brother says he wants this and the wife says he wants this. No. Everybody as a family, we agree, and that is done. All four of us, that is done. Now, coming to the Biafra thing, well, life after death, I always go for cremation. I don't want my body anywhere near Nigeria, in life or death. I don't want my body anywhere in Nigeria. So that is settled. It's all cremation. I don't care who has the ashes. They can put it in lockets. They can feed it to the cows. They can put it in the ocean. Not my business. I don't believe in life after death. If you die, you die. So the people who are alive that worry about what you're doing. So why is it my headache? What happens after I die? Not my business. But Nigeria is not an option. Do not take my body to Nigeria. Everybody knows that. Now, coming to the main thing of Biafra, I don't know why it's anybody's headache. And the Hausas have been oppressed by the Fulanese. Everywhere in Nigeria, people are saying, oh, if Biafra comes, they're going to be marginalized. You're already being marginalized. I'm from Edo State. I come from a marginalized tribe. You don't know that Edo State is like Nigeria, where one tribe holds every other tribe down. You can't go nowhere. This tribe is 60% in Edo State. Before you get, Oshiomhole was lucky to even get where he got to. There is serious marginalization in Edo State because the dominant tribe rules over the minority tribe, of which I'm one. So I know what I went through when I was in Nigeria from my own statement. Okay, Afamai, all those other places, they are seriously marginalized. The same thing the Igbos are going through in Nigeria. In the north, the Fulanese are marginalizing the Hausas. So if you come to Biafra and you're marginalized, you're no stranger to it. You've already been marginalized all your life. So what is your problem? What I want to do is I'd rather take a progressive marginalized person. I feel the Igbos are the most progressive, and even though they haven't marginalized you in the East, why do you think they're going to marginalize you in Biafra? The only reason that there's marginalization in the South is because of these satanic agents, double agents that are for this corrupt Nigerian government. So everywhere in Nigeria, there's already marginalization. So please, don't deceive yourself that you're free. You are not free. Every minority tribe in every state is marginalized by the majority tribe. Fact. I'm a living example. That is why I can't stand in those states. I cannot stand. You can imagine having 60% of people here and you cannot move your state forward. Try to buy land here. I know when my father died, we had to hurriedly sell our land because we didn't want them to come and steal it. So please make yourself comfortable with marginalization. It's been our history. The Hausas are not crying. They now know what Biafras are going through. Now, did you play that video of that girl who was crying out that Hausas, they're killing all of them there? So what are you talking about? Are you free in Nigeria? No, you're not. So the Igbos are the ones that have shown they survived the war, they built businesses. I would rather be marginalized by those people. And I voted with my full chest. Where we are going now from now is not my business. What does that tell you? When you are disillusioned with where you are, any fantasy is good enough for you. You're looking for the second coming of Christ, Abi? Is it not a fantasy? You go wait, okay? Just like we are waiting for Biafra, we are all waiting for one thing or the other. So my question to you, why do you think Nigerians, the youth especially, cannot even come out and protest? And Mr. Electricity is asking this question, which I find is very infantile. You're telling us, why did we not come to Nigeria and declare Biafra? In a place that already killed 3 million Igbos. Is the place you want them to come and discredit? Sometimes I don't know whether you listen to yourself, you ask these questions. Are you being facetious or are you being mischievous? I'm not exactly sure. A place that is not safe for you is where you want them to go and declare Biafra. Does that make sense? So, my dears, I don't care whether it's a reality or fantasy. When I see those whether they put AI or whatever, I don't care. If you cannot make it, fake it to work. It is giving me joy because that's your Nigerian contraption. I will never have anything to do with it. And they're saying, oh, what passport are you using to go to Finland? You that you're complaining, why are you in America? Or why don't you go to Nigeria and go and suffer what everybody is suffering there? So we all have our struggles. Whether we want to make it a fantastic Biafra or a meaningless Biafra, it's not our problem. It's not your problem. Concentrate on your zoo Nigeria. So you can sneak out all you want, you can do whatever you want. But let me say, some of us here, it gives us a greatest amount of joy to know that people are investing their time and trying to break away from that contraption. Now, whether they've driven boundaries, I'm from Afemai. I belong to Afemai State. When that time comes, they will show me where my land is and I will go. Even if it's in the air or if in space, it is giving me joy. But that Nigeria that is cursed and doomed, I don't want nothing to do with it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Luke. Local P, you're next. Could you please unmute? Thank you, Madam Luke. Local P, are you there? Thank you,
Just
sir.
never talk past my own time. So just talk my time, Jonathan. Okay. So which one want to talk about now? Biafra,
Now,
which one?
where will you where do you want to be buried? And have you had that conversation? Like, where do you like? Yeah.
Like you said, I'm still full of life. I've not talked about it. Let me know. Like, that's why I said next person because.
So hold on. You've not had that conversation with your wife?
I don't understand. How old am I? I'm still young. I have too many life to live. Why? No, the idea was like, if anything happens tomorrow, why would I just wake up and think anything happens tomorrow? When I have plans to live long as I think I can. Like I said, I've not thought about it anyway. So my wife and I said we like enjoyment. So
Wow.
we're not even thinking of that.
Can I ask locally something? Can I ask him a question? Just a second.
What?
So how you know how long you're gonna live? Do you determine your lifetime?
No, hold on. Like I don't know how long, but at least the way I live my life, carefulness, as in, try to stay healthy, try to
Does that
live a
matter?
quiet life.
Somebody can go out tomorrow and get hit by a car. I'm not talking about you, but I'm just saying.
But you see, honest thing, why can't I go out tomorrow? You understand? And pick 1 million on the ground. It's only the bad thing that people are just talking. What if tomorrow bad thing happen? What if tomorrow good thing happen? You get my point. So that's my own philosophy of life is somewhat different. You understand? Because look, as old as I am, I'm surprised the things I can do just because the lifestyle I've been living. Where people that are even older than with 5 or 10 years cannot even do. Sometimes I'll be hearing some people having some. I think the other time Adanma was complaining about some young people having some kind of ailment they don't even understand. Like at your young age, where is this coming from? You understand? So sometimes I just live my life in a way that look, I tell myself the truth and I try to hold everybody responsible for what they are doing. I see life differently, my brother. Let me know life because I've seen things, man. I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. You understand? I've survived all these things, and I tell myself, look, there must be a reason for this. So I try to live a sweet, beautiful life, not thinking of what if. The only what if I can think of is what if I buy Lamborghini tomorrow, which I don't need anyway. What if I, stumble across something? It must be positive. Why must it be? What if something negative? Like, what if tomorrow something happen? What if tomorrow? Nigerians will always think about that. It's only if I want to think of sort of this, is maybe insurance. Okay, what if tomorrow? Okay, start paying money, this and that, whatever. But to cut the long story short, like I said, I've not even thought about it because I still enjoy my life. I do things that you understand my age is not supposed to be doing. You understand, and it's helping me to like even live more. I can say to myself now, proudly, confidently, like I believe in the next 20 years or 30 years, I'll still be the same fitness, the same strength, the same mentality, the same look. Maybe younger, I don't even know, younger than my age, but it's the same look. You're not even thinking about becoming look older and fragile and all this and that, sick. No, you understand? Like I said, I have not. Trust me. My wife, we like enjoyment too much. You understand? Go here, enjoy. Not if tomorrow, But whatever happens, like you said, case tomorrow, say looking for money to travel the cops. Sell the property. Now, man, living in the property. They're not different for heaven now. If you sell the property, yes, take the rest, go and enjoy your life, or go and make investment, and use the rest to take me up. So because everybody wants to go and retire now. I mean, come on, we know we in our hearts know deep down our heart that this is not a home. You understand? It's just a place, a place where you just stay, and you always wish because the reason why we are here is Nigeria should be better tomorrow. If we don't want to go home, why are we discussing Nigeria should be better tomorrow? For what reason? It's not for all of us to go home. So
Thank
Ideally,
you.
it's just a thing,
I
man.
appreciate your opinion, but at the same time, I want you to know that death is inevitable. So we
Yeah,
are
no,
all
like I
going to
just said,
die.
hold on, Adam, listen. You are here. Why? Because you want Nigeria to be better, right? For what reason? Just for better sake, or for better so that yeah, you will not have a place to call home and go and do your thing and live well with your people and have a home. Not because you are here, you want Nigeria to be better for other people. That means you don't know what you are doing. You are here because you want your country to be better. So that in the next future, when you're retired or whatever, you want to go back home. It's just like you are in a tenant, you are living as a tenant and you are building a house, you are struggling saving every penny to build a house. For what reason? Are you not building the house because you feel like going there? Same thing, you want Nigeria to be better so that you want to go home. So I think saying whether you want to be buried here or not buried here, this and that, you understand? Like what Luke said, she doesn't want to talk about Nigeria issue because she already excommunicated herself to be a non-Nigerian, that she's living exile life, and that's I wish so very. But for every other person who wants to discuss the betterment or greatness of Nigeria or Nigeria coming back to what it's supposed to be, you understand? It's because they wish Nigeria to be better, so they will go home. So everybody's saying that no, you want this and that. Remember that hypothetically, you want to be buried home. That's why you want Nigeria to be great. Because if not, there's no reason why you want Nigeria to be great if you don't have anything to do with Nigeria in the future. Why you disturb yourself or having headache over something you're not going to be part of when you die, when you get old? So I don't know. Everybody gets where they dish. So that's it. Everybody quiet. When I talk now, I understand everybody.
Thank you, Local P. Dexter.
I'm talking to myself.
Mr.
Dexter.
Locopi, I mean, thank you, Mr. Locopi. I was still talking. I didn't know I was muted.
Oh, really?
Mr. Ike, are
Exactly.
you there?
Popio.
Uncle Ike, are you there? I think he is sleeping. Electricity. Forfeit, I want to come back to you. What is your opinion on what we just asked? Forfeit, are you there? Forefather. Okay, electricity. What is your opinion in regards to this question?
Am I the last person? I would like to go last if that's okay. So that
Yeah. Yes, I think you're the last person. Like where you.
okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you
You're the
very much.
last person because nobody has
Yeah,
answered. So you're the last person.
yeah. Yes, I knew I have this discussion with my girls. It was it this year or last year? We're just having a chat. So I didn't know how much I love Nigeria, and regardless of what anyone says, I believe in that country. And we talk about the cost. So the cost for us to say, listen, if it's gonna cost too much and I can make the money available, then I should be buried wherever I want, wherever I am. It doesn't really make much difference because once you're gone at the end of the day. So we just talked it in passing, and but it's an interesting thing to really consider as to where one will be buried. Beside that, it comes with a sentimental value. I mean, sentimental is it value or sentiment with it? Because truth be told, when you're gone, you're gone. You don't know what's happening as long as you don't leave burden and responsibility for those who are alive. I don't want to be cremated. That's number one. Even though I don't feel it, I don't want fire burning my body. Uh, Being buried here, consider the cold. You mean I live all my life in the cold, then I'll be so buried in the cold, no heat. There's a possibility of resurrection if I'm buried under the ground where there's heat there. So it's just me, my own thinking anyway. But for what it is something what everybody worth considering. And uh, you don't have to think about death; it's inevitable. Whether it's for religious reason or whatever belief anyone have, it will happen. It happens to the young and to the old. There are different set of people in the graveyard. They say if you want to learn a lesson in life, you go to two places. You go to the hospital and you go to the graveyard. then you will see all size, shape, age there. Then you take a step back and rethink one's life. That's my submission, and I believe I don't know if Adama has anything to say or the top has anything to say. Then again,
I have something to say. What I have to say is the question I asked is good for us to have that conversation with our spouse, where you want to be buried. Yeah, some people say when they die, they would like to be taken home to be buried. And one thing I've always asked myself, does the ground know what location a dead body is? For
no.
people who choose to be buried, let's say carry my corpse and take it back home. My own belief with my family, I want to be buried here. So do my husband, my kids. Like it's so planned that you buy your spot, like everything in terms of the land, everything. We have that for me, my children, everyone. So it's something that is so important that I think we need to have that conversation, given in the African tradition we're coming from, because um, if you don't have that conversation with your spouse, and God forbid anything
Yeah.
happens to you, and you find yourself in a situation where there is no funds, how do you expect her to cough out that amount to send your body home to be buried? So that's to be buried. So that's why it's so important for us to have this question with our spouse, whatever relationship you're in, whatever, you just need to disclose, this is what I want to happen to me should anything happen, and this is the role I want. I think it's a conversation we need to have, and have it honestly. With that being said, I'm going to give everybody 1 minute for their final submission so we can end the show. Thank you. Dexter, I'm going to come to you. Dexter?
Just start sleeping.
Okay, can you remove anybody that
See
is not?
me or
Yeah.
sleep. Who is saying I'm sleeping, please?
Uh-huh.
How are
Okay.
you doing? Are you on the other side of the world? Because we've called you several
Dexter, please,
times.
your final submit. Dexter, did you get to answer this question of where do you want to be buried?
Well, I didn't answer. I heard everyone, some people are already upset with
Look at
Nigeria.
the voice. You know he's sleeping.
I'm not sleeping, please. Don't say I'm sleeping. I have a lot of work to do this night, so I can't be sleeping. Well, where do I want to be buried? Ah, my dear, I'm not really bothered about that. So just live a good life. That's the most important thing for me. But I mean, unfortunately, where we come from, Nigeria is presently not in a good space. But I think people generally want to be buried where if they have a heritage, you want to be there. I'm sure if you meet an American, they take the bodies back. You know, so that's because they are proud of where they come from. Okay, so I think the onus is on us to. I mean, there's no. I don't think there's any gain saying, "Oh, don't bury me," like, "Oh, whatever it is," But that's us accepting defeat. That's the way I see it. If we have a heritage, and the truth about it is that I always say this to people: we had you call Black Americans today, you say, oh, that they were taken from Africa as slaves, and then they were taken to America, and oh, we blame the white people for the whole slave trade and all that. But the question is this: we've had Africa for how long? Have we made it a heritage for the Black Americans that they want to come back? Because if we make Africa a heritage, you find out that the people that were taken as slaves will want to come back to their roots and actually want to be buried with their ancestors. So I think the onus is on us to make our place, to make Africa, to make our homeland a heritage, so that we will take pride in being buried back home. But for me, I mean, the truth about it is that once you die, you're dead. It's carcass. This body is carcass. So that's
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Tonight, what is your final submission before we end this segment? Do you have anything to say?
Nigeria is not there. It's not there. I just brought.
Okay.
Sorry. No
Um.
apologies.
Okay. Sorry, Dexter. Could you please give us your final submission, sir?
Well, I would say very nice show, nice topics that we discussed and all that. But I think what we can add is I think we should start profiling solutions. That's all. Because
Okay.
it's one thing to talk about the problems. Everybody can talk about it. I think the solutions would be, even if the solutions where people are profiling, I think one of the ways to find good solutions is not about being stereotyped about it. You have to listen to whatever everybody is saying about the solution, whether it's something you like or not, but you listen to it, you document it, and then later on you bring it together and then it forms a live document. Doesn't I mean we can all talk about, even a child can talk about the problems we have. So I think where we can redirect it is, you know, talking about the solutions and taking people here being taking the courage to go back to Nigeria and take up leadership positions. Let's see what you can do. We need people here to be part of the House of Assembly so that we can know what's happening there. This is how nations change, you know. It's not just people in diaspora sending money back home and then you complain on Twitter and all that. The truth about it is that people have to now start taking up the responsibility to go back home, become a House of Rep member, become a counselor, so that you know what is happening. You get to the weeds of the problem, you get to the weeds, and then you can start coming influencing it. Until you start influencing a situation, you don't have any say. That's the truth. Like, complain all you like, complain all we like for the next 20 years. If we don't start influencing it by going back to be part of the leadership, putting ourselves, taking the risks and putting ourselves in there, might as well just stay in the land of the West, and enjoy it while we can. That's the truth. And then forever paint the picture of DEI, and or when we have
Okay. Thank you. Eccentric, what is your final submission, sir?
Final submission. Um, so the thought of death, right? It's a mysterious, thought, right? It's not something that we take serious, in our culture, in Igbo culture, we don't really talk about death. It's not part of our conversation, but it's something that needs to be talked about. It's very important. To make plans about how one's body will be disposed when they pass away. It's a very important topic, and it got me thinking a lot. you know, these are things that we don't necessarily, think about in our daily lives. It's very important conversation. I wish there was more to it, so we can actually discuss more, kind of
Yeah, we're going to be bringing
philosophize
more
about it.
things around it. Yeah, like
Yeah,
we're going to talk
yeah,
more about it. Yes.
yeah. So I mean, in terms of like, I'm Igbo, I follow Igbo traditions, and I believe in reincarnation. We come back. I look at, I believe in reincarnation because I believe that it has its positives. It's not the Hindu style of reincarnation. The reincarnation is you're going to reincarnate as a human being because that's your line of evolution. And I believe that if we all know that we were incarnated in Nigeria, we will make the country better because you don't want to. The way you make your bed is how you lay on it, right? It's like if you leave your house all messed up and then you travel, you go to Vegas after partying and having fun and come back to see your house all messy. It'll take away the joy. So it will be good to prepare our country, our home, the way we want it when we come back. And same when we talk about home, I'm talking about also our children. You want to prepare your children to be able to raise their children who would raise you. Your grandkids or great grandkids. So they will raise you how you want them to be raised. So I think this is how we can stop like karma in the family. Karmic. The karma that we bring back often. You know what I mean? It could be we could do that by you know investing in education for our children, of course, investing in their future, uh, investing in businesses, and of course, have like properties for them because we are going to inherit that as well
Yeah.
when we reincarnate. So I think that from that perspective, I believe in reincarnation. So and I think we should, and this goes to the leaders, the leadership. If you make the
Thank
country
you.
better, you're going to reincarnate to a better country. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, eccentric cast. Man of prestige, your final submission, sir.
Sister Adama, sorry, I'm sorry I was away for a while.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. So we are taking final submission, and
Okay.
we're asked. The question that was asked when I called you was, "Where would you like to be buried?" And have you had that conversation with your wife? Because we as Africans, we don't like talking about death. So that was the question that was asked, and people answered. So I don't know if you have anything to contribute to it, sir.
Yeah, my sister, anybody who said that doesn't like to talk about death is not being honest to himself or herself. Death is inevitable. Everybody has to die. It doesn't matter. Who knows when he or she is going to die? So why wouldn't you talk about it? While you're talking about life, also you talk about death, right? For me personally, it doesn't matter where I pass away. It doesn't matter where I'm buried. Buried anywhere, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change nothing. You know. The most important thing is that don't cause unnecessary financial problem to the living. That's the most important thing. You don't give your family unnecessary financial burden because of your death. Right? Death is death. It doesn't matter where you die. It doesn't matter where you're buried. It's the same death. So for me personally, it doesn't really matter to me where I'm buried, right, or where I pass away, right. So I mean, if we don't want to talk about that, why do we have to talk about life? The two of them work pari passu. So life and death is part of our living, and we have to. Every one of us has to face it someday, but we don't know when and how. That's the most important thing. You don't know when and how and where, right? So honestly speaking, for me, I don't doesn't really matter where my
Thank you,
body
sir.
my body is deposed. When you close your eyes, do you know what happens to you? Whether they leave you on the street and allow dogs to eat your flesh, who cares? Who knows? Do you know? But the important thing is that, like as I said, I pray that I don't give my children or my grandchildren or my family financial burden because of my passing away. No, I don't want anybody to suffer because of that. If I have enough, I should be able to give them a better life before I pass on to the other generation, before I pass on to the other side. So why do I have to burden people with something that is not coming back? So I don't. It doesn't matter to me personally.
Thank you, sir, for your submission. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. A man of prestige, your final submission, sir.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Um, I think like Mr. Ike said, death is inevitable, it's something to be discussed, I mean, to me, it's very imperative that we have that conversation because it's something that's going to happen. But this forum has been very educational, whether you like it or not. Maybe that will make some people like local, who has a baby body in his body, maybe start thinking about it. Maybe that's an educational part of it. You can start thinking about what we talk about. It's very important to talk about it. But having said that, being wherever you want to be buried, it doesn't really matter because I'm no longer in this world. I'm died, so it doesn't really matter what happened out of that time. But the point is that I wouldn't like to put a burden to my family. But the point is that if I work hard on my life and I can afford it, that's not going to put a burden to my family. Then that's why I make my own decision, and I incorporated it. That money is already in the bank for that, So it's not something I'm going to put a burden to my family. If that has been the case, I wouldn't have, that wouldn't have been an issue. I don't care if I'm buried here, just because I can afford it. That's why I make my own decision. But if it's something that is, I know, that may not be good for my family, it's going to be a burden because it's very expensive to move somebody to, I mean, up to 30,000, to go bury somebody in Nigeria. But if you can afford it, I mean, what is it about? That's why you're in this world. And if you have the money, you work hard for it, so be it. So, but anyway, that's my conclusion.
Thank you so much, sir. Local P, your final submission, sir. Local
Look,
P.
you already spoke. You already spoke on this.
Oh, no, his final submission.
Ah, okay.
Local P, your final submission, sir.
Lexi, 1 minute, Adam. Alexis, can you please highlight Queen T's question to Adama.
Okay, go ahead. Look up here. You can go ahead and speak your final submission. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, well, like what man of president was saying, I have baby body. It's good to have baby body, because if you have it too, I guess you'll be talking like me. You understand? Trust me, brother, man. You'll be talking like me, I tell you. But like I said, it's not something I haven't thought about, like, because I have too many things to do in this life, to I have so much to give. And I think part of the purpose when I'm on earth is not to go, that's anything can happen. No, it's not there. You understand? I know that I have so much to give. I still have lots to put down on earth, many people to put on the right direction. You understand? Like what somebody will always say, what percentage, what part of percentage are you? You understand? Are you among the 85% or 10% or 5%? So I've always seen myself to be a 5%, even before I knew it. Before I knew what 5% as was, I've always seen myself to be like that. So um um like I said, I still have lots and lots to give. You understand? So I've seen great people, is celebrated when they are old. You understand? Being given honor to. I mean, it's something one would really like to enjoy in life now. So one would like to look forward to. So why would you just start thinking of what if, what if? Like I always say, it's only we Africans always think of like, what if to bad thing happen? Or what if good thing happen? That good thing might be also be long life now, good health and all that stuff, So no. Then like also what Dexter was talking about for the breakfast and this and that. For me, he said the solution, talking about problem. Yeah, I've always raised solution way back, and that is what I term diaspora vote. You understand? If the people in Nigeria have been compromised through weaponization of hunger, I don't think people in diaspora are hungry too. You understand? So we can also put in our effort. That's why I tell us that we Nigerians, we are not serious in changing Nigeria. We just come talk. Nobody wants to put in the work. We just come and make mouth, try to blame other people. We don't want to take responsibility. We don't want to do anything. I've always raised a solution to be like diaspora voting will change the dynamics of Nigeria. You understand? Because we just send money. I think it was an article I read that I think they make how much? Is it 100 or 200 monthly for remitter, something like that? Billions monthly remitter. So like, if Nigerians are giving Nigerians in diaspora are giving federal government this much money, so we cannot have a say. I mean, we're not get level at all. You understand? And I hate to be in that class where I'm doing something, I contributed that I don't have a say. I don't get level. No. I can't function in that kind of environment. Hence, I brought the idea of diaspora voting, and many of those platforms have shut it down. It will not work. This and that, this and that, this and that. Nobody has tried it before. But as God will have it, this last American election, they announced it and they advertised it that Americans all over the world, wherever they are, can go to their consular and vote for this just concluded election. You understand? So you see, if not for the fact that my own people toned my idea down, destroyed my idea. You understand? Probably Nigeria would have been the first person to try it, but American, started advertising it. Maybe they did it. I don't know. I didn't follow up. But I saw the advert that they were saying it that Americans who want to vote in this election all over the world can vote wherever they are. They don't have to travel to America. Which is diaspora voting. So solution has always been there, but we Nigerians we hate our own solution. We don't even want to see it come to light. We always want to like, I beg you, this one, I beg you, no go work, no go work, no go work, no go work. I've always tried to campaign for this right from them. That means even aware of it. Diaspora voting, trust me, try it. Even if you think it doesn't work, you understand. If you don't do it, you will not lose. If you do it and it doesn't work, you still will not lose. So why not just do it? So you do something, we didn't work, then later we can modify it again. But start something, But Nigeria, being will be now.
Yeah.
Always looking for people to blame. Nobody wants to do anything, That's why we are. So, like I said, the solution is diaspora voting. We should do it. You understand? There's nothing we're going to lose. You understand? Because if we don't do it, we'll still remember where we are. So why not do it and see if it will work? So if it work, fine. You understand? So
yes,
that's just mission.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Quincy, Quincy, to answer your question, you said, what is your opinion if one travels on vacation to a foreign country and died? What do you think should happen to the body? This is what happened. If you go on vacation and let's say you you died on vacation, your body will be shipped back to your loved ones, depending on where you went on vacation. So your body will be shipped back to your loved ones.
Financed by who?
I think she's wanted to know as in who finance it.
Exactly. That's what say. Financed by who?
The government will finance it.
You can imagine.
Of that
For free.
country. Let's say you went to what did they call this place close to
Australia. Australia.
No, the Spanish place that people go, Cancun. Let's say you went, because they will, let's say if you travel, they will ship that body, and it happened in their, like, you died while you were on vacation in their country, you were in a result or something.
Oh my
They
God.
will ship the body back to the family member, and the family member will contact United States consul, if I'm not mistaken, to report that that person, a United States citizen, went on a vacation this certain place and died, and they will work on bringing that body back home to the family.
I
So I
don't think
hope
that
that
will happen. I don't think
I
that will
hope
happen in
I
Dubai.
hope that
If you
answers
go
your
to
question.
Saudi,
Say that again.
I don't think that will happen if you go to a country like Saudi Arabia. I don't think they will do that.
They'll
But,
bury you there. If you die there, they'll bury you sharp.
but but Adama, that's applicable in most of the Western countries. I mean, if your family are financial unable to, I think they will work in conjunction. Let's say you go to you go to any European country, and your
No, but
family
if
is
you go back to Nigeria and die now and think that
no,
American
nobody,
people
nobody's talking about Nigeria. I'm talking about Western countries, okay? Like Europe.
forget
I
it.
think if your family are of financial unable to do that,
Yeah,
they will do that. They will send you
they'll
back
bring them.
wherever your loved one in conjunction with the
Mm-hmm.
government. Let's assume you go to Spain and die over there and your family is unable to, then they will send you back to United States in conjunction with the American government.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty simple. Not Nigeria. Nobody's talking about Nigeria.
No.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
And but I'm sorry, electricity. My final submission is death is inevitable. We need to have those tough conversation. Prepare your family, because trust me, none of us will know that day that we're going to die, because regardless. And man of prestige said something that struck to me. You do not want that burden to be on your family. You don't. You want to prepare them so that way, when you're gone, both the wife and the husband, so that your family member they don't feel like they have to run around to spend so much out of their own um money just to give you a befitting barrier. So I do encourage people getting life insurance. Is very important. Know who your nest of kin is. That is very important. Someone that can make decisions for you. If you find yourself in a medical situation where you cannot speak for yourself or consent for things, those are conversations you need to have with your spouse or your fiance, whatever situationship you have. Because at the end of the day, when you're well prepared, no matter what happened, everything is laid out. Not saying that something is not going to go wrong, no matter how prepared we are. Yes, something will definitely go wrong. And that's my final submission. So, Tope, over to you, ma'am. Tope, your final submission. Thank you. Then electricity, you close it out.
There's a time to be born, there's a time to die. Every single human being will pay that price of death. I strongly believe we should really have these conversations often. I want to appreciate everyone. I'm happy we had this conversation. I learned a lot, and I hope we can have more of these kind of sensitive conversations, because it's very, very important. You don't have to be rich to have a will. You don't have to have all the estates in this world to have a will. Simple instructions, basically just your wishes, what you would like. That's what we're asking you to have written down. You don't want the burden for your wife or your husband or your children while you're gone. In most cases, when people die, in Nigeria, with experience I've had, especially if your parents is old, you find people crying, not really, crying for the loss of the parent. I'm not saying people are not emotional about that, but the crying is more on the expenses aspect, that who's going to take care of all these expenses, especially when we know the cost of burying people in Nigeria is so high. So these are conversations that you need to have. These are plans we all need to start making. I'll do better. I know I've been slacking on this. I've tried to also, incorporate my husband in having all these kind of conversations. No one wants to talk about it, but it is important. You don't want to leave your family hanging. So please everyone should please work on this. It's important. Thank you all for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. One final thing, Lokopi, you said, why do we Africans always think about death and thereabout? When you board a plane, they give you, what do you call it, safety briefing. What do you think they were thinking when they said safety briefing? They also equally thinking, in the event of an accident, do this, do that, do that. So it's not.
Then
May
when I
I
asked
finish,
them,
please? May I finish? May
did
I
you want to crash
finish?
the plane? They said no.
May I finish, please? If you don't mind, please. Anyway,
Answered you now.
thank you very much for your time here, and we thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. We're back again next week, Saturday, God willing, and have a lovely night. God bless. Hold on 1 second, just 1 second. Yeah, so it's we're calling it as we bring the broadcast.
Thank you,
back.
thank you. Thank
Thank
you to
you.
all our wonderful panelists.
So
Lokopi, did you wanted to say something when Andrew was talking? What was the question?
Madam Luke says she's, I don't know,
She's
around.
back there.
She don't come again. Maybe she they go. I think she get work.
She
Go
said,
work. Stay
yeah.
your work. Stay your work. Stay
Okay,
your work.
please bring her in. Or what did she want?
Stay
Let
your
her
work.
give her. Let her give us our final
Stay
submission.
your work.
Electricity, can you bring her in?
no, she's left again.
Oh, she's left again.
Yeah, she's left.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Lokopi, any other question? If
No,
not,
what they was saying in airplane, if you do this, do that. And when you ask them, are you going to crash your plane? They'll say no. You understand? But the thing is, hold on, this thing is this, right? I don't know. That's maybe that's how life designed it. Like
What do you mean? Are you gonna ask them, are they gonna crash the plane? You don't ask such. Nobody ever asks such.
Are you me? You're not me. I asked them.
Okay,
They will laugh.
okay.
They will tell me no. You are not me. I asked them. They will laugh and tell me no. They'll say, but just in case. I said, why not in case you land? What you do first? We just laugh over it and that's it. But it's their routine. That's what they ask to do, and they do it. You understand? Not because they themselves don't believe in it. It's their job to do it. You understand? And somebody asked them to do it because that's what they're being paid for. Not because they went to the school and some divination or some almighty spiritual somebody told them that, hey, do it or else not something will happen. They are being told, they will train to do it. They will, even whether they believe in it or not. That's what they are there for, to say it to you, because that's part of their duty. You understand? So it's not because they tell you that means that's how life is supposed to be. I'm thinking of my own philosophy of life, like why negative? Why not positive? Their own case, that airplane you're talking about, is a job for them.
Thank you. Thank you. Y'all have a good weekend. Good night.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You're laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. By the end of the year, how are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Hey, that's so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria call obey. To serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom.